Hi, Pawan. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, man.
I don't know why, but this started from first minute recording. I am not sure
You
why.
can.
Okay, I'm making you the host so that you'll be able to control the meeting.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. All of you had a good weekend.
Yes.
uh, having some bad colds over the weekend.
Yeah.
Hi, good good evening, good
Hi,
morning,
Sam.
good afternoon. Hey, hi.
Morning.
Can you guys hear me? I just joined in and I need to drop off, Pawan. I have a site visit. I'm hosting a
I'm
site
updated.
visit. Client is just stepping in now. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye bye, guys. You guys carry
Yeah.
on. Please focus on the training. I'll catch you guys later.
Okay. I didn't do.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Hi, Christina. Morning. Is it possible to reach out to your colleagues and just check if they will take time to join so that we can accordingly start?
Let me message the group. Give me a sec. I'm not sure if Manu or Deepak will be able to attend because it's showing out of office.
Okay.
And I think together with who's the guy? Maddie, the one from Morocco. I mean, yeah,
Same
in
client and
Morocco. Yes, so they are in India. So
And outside in
so
India with Sam as well. I don't know if Sam
who's
is here.
Sam
missing?
joined in and dropped off.
Okay, so Remain is joining. No
Yes.
worries. You can join now.
Good morning.
And who else are we missing? Oh, Chantal. Let me get her.
For some weird
Give
reason,
me
I
a moment.
didn't update in my calendar. But I message Sam asking him, "Am I crazy? Did we not agree to an 8 o'clock instead of 8:30?" But thank you, Dandy. I really didn't, you know,
Not a
you know.
problem. Chantal, if you can
Daniel.
join.
I think we look who all are missing right now. Hemant, Cheddar, Chanel. Who else?
Mm, Deepak is out of office, so
Yeah.
I think he's also, yeah.
So
And together
Deepak is not
with,
joining. Hemant might be 15 minutes late, which I'm aware of.
okay.
That leaves us with Tina. I want to check the list quickly. Whom are we missing?
Channel is missing.
Sorry, Tina, who's missing?
Channel.
Chantal. Ah, Chanel, yeah. I've
Manuel.
already messaged her.
Okay. Jada is not there.
Okay.
Let me message Shada.
Antonio is on.
Terry also not there. Anthony is.
Message my client. Oh.
Okay, we'll give it another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. I think let's respect the time of people who have already joined in. So another 2 minutes and then rather 1 minute now. 7:40 in India time I'm talking about. We'll get started in about a minute. Okay, I think we'll get started. Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for taking time and joining in. We covered last time elevator pitch and objection handling, and I think that concluded on Friday evening. Today, we would be moving into a different conversation all put together. And the topic we're going to cover is opportunity qualification and prioritization. Again, we're going to breaking this conversation into two halves. Today will be the first part of the conversation, and we will continue the same conversation on Friday evening. My request would be that given this workshop will need a continuity, please keep whatever worksheet you have today handy on the Friday as well, and do not change the opportunity in the conversation. Otherwise, we will all be struggling by the end of the entire conversation. Okay. So let's get started with what we're going to cover up on today. I think you are already aware of the organization, so I'm not going there all over again. You know what sales and profit does. Again, the request would be whatever we're going to be covering today is again a copyrighted material. It has taken a lot of effort. So we would request not to circulate this beyond this group. Okay, you already have a participant workbook which is available with you if you have accessed it. And in a short while, you're going to get another worksheet which we will be using through the workshop. So Tina will let you know once she has mailed it across to all of you. And I'll let you know at the appropriate time when to use it and how to use it. Okay. All of this material is pretty much a part of the program, and we would request not to circulate any of the three documents as much. Let's quickly look at in terms of suspect to order journey, what exactly are we covering and where does it fit in? So as we spoke last time, what you're seeing on the chart is all the possible skill sets and the stages, what happens between a suspect to order. Last time when we covered, we spoke about elevator pitch and we spoke about objection handling. And we remained focused on a journey which is suspect to prospect. Okay, so in the entire program, what we have covered is elevator pitch, objection handling, and a meeting preparation. Now we are moving a step ahead. We are assuming that you already have spoken to the prospect and you have an opportunity at hand. And we are trying to qualify that opportunity. Now, why does it really matter so much? An average hardworking sales professional, once they unearth an opportunity with a customer, they're generally in a rush to give a proposal. The great sales professionals take a pause. They spend a good amount of time in qualifying an opportunity. And after that is when they submit their proposal. Okay, so now we are talking about a stage which is beyond prospect. You have an opportunity at hand, which we're trying to qualify. And after we qualify an opportunity, when a proposal should ideally be submitted. Okay, so anything and everything which we are trying to have a conversation about in this today and Friday, you will need an opportunity which you have very clearly available with you for the work. Okay. So remember, we are after prospect now. We have crossed a stage of prospect. We have an opportunity with a customer. Okay, we are trying to qualify an opportunity and prioritize. I'll decode both the word why we are talking about as qualification and prioritization. The important point, we are beyond prospect and we are before proposal. So we are between prospect and proposal stage is where we are trying to work this through. Okay. Let's look at some of the base rules before we get into our work for the day. They will still remain the same, that we are going to be working in the teams. I would request all of you to respect break times, and you have been very honest about it, so appreciate that. And we will respect our peers. Again, that's been a great thing which I have observed, that all of you kind of take time, speak, and respect each other's viewpoints. This is going to be a real-time application on your live opportunity. So please remain focused on the application on the opportunity you're going to choose. Okay. Any questions are welcome. There's going to be a lot of work during the workshop which you will do in this conversation. We're going to be talking pretty less and we will make you work a lot more around here. So remain focused, and if you have questions, please come back. It's a learning environment. Again, we are all learners. So if there's something which I might not be able to answer, I'll come back and answer it for all of you. Okay. There's a file which I'm going to share. So you don't need the last point to be worried about. There's a workbook which I'll be sharing or a worksheet, and that's something which you can work upon. So all of you will have a similar. How many of you remember this slide? I think Amay would have spent a good amount of time on this. Can someone help me kind of refresh the memory on what do they remember about this slide? What is this concept all about? Okay, which is the most favorite quadrant for everyone over here? Which one do you like the most?
I remember we said at some point that it was better to win fast than lose fast, but not all of us were agreeing with that. Like,
Okay.
Depending of the situation.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, Christine is definitely right. I'll chime in here really quick, team. One of the things that I felt on this particular slide is, in my opinion and in my experience, is win slow and lose fast. So what I mean by winning slow would be just making sure that the client that we take on is a good fit for our company, making sure that we can be successful with that company, as opposed to just bringing them in, us spending a lot of time with training and everything, and then this campaign, dying 2 weeks or 4 weeks after we take it on, right? So in my opinion, again, this is just my personal opinion, it would be win slow and lose fast.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Antonio, for that. Anyone else? What does your memory serve you, or which one is your favorite quadrant on the screen?
Another thing that I agree with Antonio, for example, is win slow. Yeah, you first have the first opportunity, but then you slowly want to see what else can you get from the same client. So that takes time and the partnership to grow.
Fantastic. Which is the most painful quadrant on this screen as per all of you? For a sales professional, which is the most painful quadrant?
Win slow, lose fast.
Okay, that's the most painful one.
Yeah, because you've spent so many so many hours trying to win it in a slow manner. And then you just send the email and then you receive, oh, we have another vendor.
Okay, you're coming from that perspective. Okay, fair. That explains.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
Yeah.
What do others think? Which is the most painful quadrant for a sales professional on this screen? I thought that was an easy one.
Yeah, win fast, lose fast, I think.
Okay, lose slow is something which I'm sure all of you would hate as much. Now, let's look at the objective of the slide. The objective is to win. Okay. But given we cannot win every opportunity, we should also learn to lose the ones which we're going to lose, the ones which we're not going to win, lose fast. Okay, I'll repeat. The objective is to win. But the ones which we cannot win, let's learn how to lose them fast. Okay, so the great sales professionals spend a good amount of time in understanding which opportunities can be won. And if they realize at any stage of the sales process that we cannot win this, they're very quick to drop them off their pipeline. Okay, and the reason here is it's an opportunity cost concept, if all of you have heard about it. The same amount, if you can put on something which is more winnable, is going to get you a better results rather than keep fighting a losing battle. So we need to learn to lose fast. And that's something which we're going to address today. And how do we put a structure around it? If we cannot win, how do we decide that we're not going to win this? So how do we form a framework of losing fast? That's one. Second, there's a very fine line between win slow and lose slow, which is basically the amount of information you have been able to unearth and capture during the sales process. That defines if you're going to be winning slow, if you're controlling the opportunity. But if you do not have enough information, then you're going to have surprise at the last minute, and which will lead you to losing slow more than often. Okay, so let's understand how can we lose fast and how can we make a framework around it so that we all are aware that we have a quantified method and a standard method across the team of defining opportunity, whether we're going to be winning it or if we need to drop it off. That is where we get into our today's conversation. You have already covered this part, opportunity identification, which is a call plan with Amay. We are moving towards qualification, which is to focus on the right opportunities. And then we will follow it up with something which is called as an opportunity management. So we are going to remain focused on opportunity qualification for the entire conversation between today and our next conversation. Qualification and prioritization. What does it really mean? It, as Antonio said to a larger point, that one, we need to understand, are we working with the right set of customers? So are they the ideal customer for us? Second, what is our winning probability with them? How do we assess and how do we define that we are going to be winning with them and we have a high probability of winning? And if we have a high winning probability, should we be defining the amount of resources and efforts we're going to put around this? This whole thing forms a qualification part of it. What is prioritization as per you and why is it important? Why are we calling it opportunity qualification and prioritization? So qualification is you have a right customer, you have the right opportunity, and you have the right resources. You're trying to align everything in a straight line, and that makes it opportunity qualification. But what about prioritization? Why are we calling it prioritization at the same time?
Prioritization for me, with my experience, it's so the RFPs and RFIs, we have deadlines, right? And so those deadlines are very important for us to make sure that we meet the deadline. And so qualifying doesn't make sense when you qualify and then you did not make it to the submission, right? So I think we need to prioritize um which are nearly the due dates.
Okay, fair. Anyone else? What is prioritization here on the screen and why is it important?
Maybe from our conversation with the clients. Oh, sorry. Someone else wanted to speak. Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Christine.
Okay. So maybe from our conversations with the clients, prioritize what the issues they have, like from what we spoke with them, what would be the priority to start working on. Maybe they have more than one issue that we can help with. Just
okay, fair. Okay, Dindo, you raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we need to, for me, we need to prioritize because not all sales qualification or qualified opportunity gonna be rolling under the same pacing, right? It would depend on whosoever you're talking to. It depends on their needs. It depends uh, on the information available. It depends on the decision maker. So, based on whatever you have, based on those qualified opportunities, you need then to prioritize for you to be able to set your time and effort accurately.
Yes, fantastic. Thanks for that, Dindo. And that is exactly what prioritization means. When you have about 5 or 7 opportunities in your pipeline, if all of them are qualified, you also need to assign a given priority to each of these opportunities, depending on various parameters, their timeline of closure, your ability to win them, and how fast can you drive them. Okay, so prioritization is a subset of qualification. Just qualifying an opportunity would make your pipeline healthy, but it would not yield you results if you do not prioritize the right opportunities at that given point of time. So please do remember the entire workshop is focused on two folds: qualification, at the same time prioritization. Now, what do you expect by the end of it? We will be developing a tool and we are going to do it together as a team. It's not that we would be giving you a tool. We are going to work together as a team and develop a tool which is going to help you quantify a certain framework and define a numerical value for whether what is the priority and what is the qualification stage of this opportunity. So we are going to be making it a very easy for you to kind of quantify the whole information you have at your hand and then say whether the opportunity is qualified or not. The second thing you can expect out of the workshop is everyone is going to have a common language of what does a qualification means. All of you can use the same tool, and when you say within the organization that we have qualified an opportunity, you can tell them this is what it means. This is the information we have, and this is the value of this information, and hence there's a qualified opportunity. So you can expect two things: a tool to quantify your information, what you have at hand, and second, a common sales language across the team on what does a qualified opportunity means. Okay. That's what we're going to be doing right now. Now, the second question, why is this really important? We said qualification is important, but why?
All right. So,
First reason, which we spoke at the start of it, is that it indicates a time when should you walk away from an opportunity. In the win fast, lose fast, we said we want to be losing the ones which we're not going to win. We need to lose fast. So this framework is going to give you an entire calculation of when do you know it's time to walk away. One. Second, it tells you is the opportunity a good fit? And this is typically subjective in our mind. So we're going to make it quantified and we are going to make it in a structured way of what information should we uncover, what is the value of this information, and how to interpret that information. So is this opportunity a good fit or not? Third, it helps save time and helps prioritize. What do you think beyond this are the reason to qualify an opportunity? Does it have any bearing on your set beyond a pipeline or beyond a forecast?
Could you repeat the question, Pavan? Sorry.
Other than the 3 points which are there on the screen, what are the other reasons you think qualifying an opportunity or a lead is important?
Expenses.
Expenses, okay.
Cost.
Cost, fair. What else comes to your mind? Two other things which you can think of. Yeah, go ahead, please, sir.
No, I'm just thinking, Pavan, you have there save time, right? But if you don't clearly qualify things, right, you might even lose the actual qualified opportunity. Like you're
Yes.
looking into one side, but then the supposedly more qualified opportunities on the other side, and so you're spending your time and effort more on this, and then
Yes.
by doing so, you would lose that other opportunity.
Absolutely. That's the opportunity cost, Dindo, largely. If you have two things to address, X and Y, and if you feel X is more important while you ignore Y, you will have to choose where do you want to put your resources on, which has more chances of closing and which has less chances of closing. So that's the opportunity cost concept. You have to qualification works exactly on that. So beyond the three things, two things which I can add up to this. One, it also enhances your credibility within the organization when you qualify opportunities well. And why does that matter? Every time you forecast an opportunity, if it closes, the confidence of the team working with you is far more higher, which means the resources which you get allocated would be faster, and the organization is going to respect you for the allocation of resources. Second, it improves the overall forecast of yourself and the team. If you qualify well, which means your chances of winning is much higher, your forecast becomes stronger and you would be able to forecast your deals far better. So forecast and self-credibility are the other two reasons why you should qualify for your own reasons. Okay. Let's quickly go back to, Tina, have you been able to mail the worksheet? Tina,
Yes, Pavan.
you've
Can you
been
repeat?
able to mail the worksheet?
Yes, yes, I've already emailed.
Okay, fantastic. Done. Thanks, Tina. Okay, so we're going to be going again into selecting a given opportunity, and we call it a unique sales opportunity. Okay, we have done this twice earlier. I'll quickly run you down through what does an opportunity mean in this scenario. For us to call something an opportunity, we need 4 fields to be very clear. First one, to whom we are selling, which is the company, division, or the business unit to whom we are selling. Second, we should be aware of the product, service, or a solution what we will be selling to this customer. Third, what is the revenue or the units or the quantity which we will be selling to the customer. And fourth, does the customer have a close date in their mind? So close date as per the customer. So we need to have all these 4 things available with us for us to call something an opportunity. Let's quickly look at some of the features what an opportunity should have. One, it should be specific and crisp, which means it has to be very clear. Customer cannot say, maybe I'm looking at this. It should address a clear business requirement. Second, it should be product, service, or solution related, which we can offer to the customer. Third, it should be measurable. Fourth, timeline focused, which means customers should have a timeline in their mind to close this. Fifth, avoid having and. I think we spoke about it last time, but and is when you club 2 different opportunities together. Okay, try to be sure that they're going to close at the same time with the same set of decision makers, and customer cannot break them. In case customer can break down your opportunity into 2 different pieces, then you need to be conscious that they are not single opportunity, they are 2 different opportunities. For example, customer tells you that we want to offload a certain process on you, and we also want you to build a new one on the side. Now, they both can be individual decisions at one point. They might not necessarily be in the same window. Okay. So we need to be conscious that this is not going to close together. This can be broken down by the customer until and unless a customer assures you that they will take a decision together on this. So be conscious that we are not using 2 opportunities in the same conversation. Now, if you can open your worksheets, you will see on the right-hand side of those worksheets, I'll try to bring it up on the screen so that all of us can look at it. Give me a moment. All of us can see this?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to be working on this worksheet throughout our workshop today. Right now, we need to remain focused on the highlighted area. This is what I would request you to fill. Over here, you're going to choose an opportunity which is unearthed by you recently, or even if you have given a proposal, it's fine. Okay, but choose something which is not closed. Choose an opportunity which is not closed. Choose a live opportunity, please. Okay, all of you can choose one opportunity for yourself. Fill in the details of this. Feel free to fill this as well. This is a generic information about your opportunity. This is where we're going to remain focused. Okay. Anyone who has not received the sheet, does everyone have the sheet with themselves? Fantastic. I would request you to quickly fill this. Let's take about 3 to 4 minutes and then move forward on this one. You need to fill this section. I will change this slide only once we are done with the activity. If you have any questions, feel free to just raise your hand and we can address it. Can I request one of you to share your opportunity details with me so that during the exercise, I can refer that and keep explaining things in an easier method? Any one of you can opt in for it. I need one of you to share your opportunity detail with me, which I want to fill in here and then keep explaining it, use leveraging that throughout the workshop. I need one opportunity. We have so many people on the call. Anyone who wants to share their customer?
I can't. The thing is, this is, well, I had a conversation with them, but it's not like a closed deal or anything. And I'm just using it as an example because right now I don't have anything like ready to, you know.
Okay. Anyone else? Thanks, Christina, for offering that. Come on, guys. No one has an opportunity. I need one opportunity.
I'll give you one from my
Okay.
sales lead. Give me a
Okay.
moment.
Let
The
you share
customer.
the one which you're working with. Whatever you're working on is good with me. You can just share the same one.
This one, the one that I'm working on, is a different client. I just got it from my sales lead. So,
That's okay. I just need it for the reference. Don't worry. That's okay. If you don't want to share the
okay.
customer name, I'll call it ABC. That's fine with me.
No, you can put there PLD.
EOB?
P like Peter,
Okay.
L Larry,
Okay.
Delta, Tango.
I missed it. Sorry. Peter.
Peter,
Hmm.
Larry, Delta, Tango.
PLD.
Delta, Tango. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. What are we trying to sell them as a service or a solution?
Um, Customer service based from the notes I have here. Um, they are offering mobile services, internet service, home phone, DSL, and then mobile network. They do customer service in all channel.
Okay. Omni-channel customer service, I'll put it in that case.
Yep.
Okay. Any idea about the revenue units, booking quantity, anything which you have?
Based from the email, they don't
Hmm.
have any number. But if we're gonna look at because from my knowledge, they have uh an existing vendor.
Okay. So we don't know the revenue right now.
No, we don't.
Okay. Fair enough. How about the close date? Does customer have a close date in mind?
No, they don't. What the email said was they are
Hmm.
looking for possible vendors.
Hmm.
Um, they but the email says they have an existing vendor, so they're like short. What do you call it? Mm, they're
Okay. So we don't.
shortlisting some possible vendors, and then
Okay.
we sent out our information for
Hmm.
their accreditation, and we are accredited now by them. So there's
Okay.
no close date.
Fantastic. Uh, this would be yourself, right? We'll put your name.
Yeah.
Any last conversation you had with the customer? Any dates when you had a last conversation with the
Hold
customer?
on. Last one was November 3. That's what I have here.
Okay, fair enough. Account name will again will be PFDT. Fantastic. So I just filled this up so that everyone is clear what are we supposed to do with the sheet. Your name, last conversation, the customer name. Customer name will get carried forward here. You're going to be writing about the product, service, or a solution, what you're sharing with the customer in this section. Over here, if you know the revenue, then you need to put in or the quantity or the units, either of the things, and then you put the customer expected close date. Now, I have a question for all of you. We had a conversation during a sales call plan. If we do not know this information, what are we supposed to be doing here? How many of you remember that? If we do not have information, or if we have a missing information, what are we supposed to be doing with that?
No, I don't remember that part.
Who remembers it? I'm going to spend a little, I'll give you a little bit of time to recollect. It's important. What are we supposed to do with the missing or uncertain information? You guys want to refer your notes, feel free.
I forgot. I think market has a C.
What
I
is
just
C?
can't recall what C is.
Okay,
It's
you
a
can't
caution.
recollect what C is. Okay.
Caution.
Fantastic.
Yes, caution.
Caution.
Cautious. Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
fantastic. Thanks for remembering that. And so right now, whatever you have no idea on the sheet, I would request all of you to please mark a caution over here. Just write C. If you want, you can just color code it with red. Okay. Just put in a C over here and or else you can just write caution the whole word, whatever works for you. And if you do not know the close date as well, please write another C and mark it as a caution. How many of you remember what was caution all about? Do you guys remember the concept? Yes, Eamon, please go ahead.
Yeah. So for the close date, can we add a TBD to be determined instead and then mark
Yes,
it as a
you can,
caution?
but you will have to mark it as a caution.
Okay.
Right? You can put a TBD, but you will have to mark it as a caution. The question remains, how many of us remember what is caution? No one? We're going to use it through the workshop, and hence I'm spending a little bit of time on it. I think I'll give it time. You guys are good at recollecting. So someone came up after a while with C. So I'm happy about that.
Caution is missing or uncertainty about any information, did not understand the decision-making process, have not contacted the relevant people within the opportunity, past escalations, pressing, negative customer perceptions about your offering or competitor strengths.
Fantastic. See, I think giving time works. Thanks for that, Christina. So caution is largely missing information or uncertain information which we have, and that's what we just used. Whatever is missing or uncertain on your sheet right now, okay, that is what we're marking as a caution. Okay. What was the pairing concept of caution? What was the other term which we used earlier in the workshop?
No, it is what? Sorry?
There was another concept along with caution. What was the other part of it? This has two parts.
Advantages.
Yes, advantages. What is advantages?
Anything that gives you an advantage in front of your client.
Do we have anything which will help us define it?
Let me look for it.
Yeah. In an open book exam, cheating is allowed.
Yes, give me. Improves your position against others for the current opportunity, creates differentiation, lessens price sensitivity. It can be your product, timelines, pricing, experience, etc. Provided the customer sees it, as a differentiator for the current opportunity.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Christina, again. So all that information, what we're going to be capturing in our sheet going forward, we are going to analyze on two ends. Is it an advantage or is it a caution? Okay. Now the question before I go to this, is it necessary that every information we have can be categorized as advantage or caution? I'll repeat. Is it necessary that every information we have is either an advantage or a caution? Dandy, you wanted to say something?
No, my thought is saying I'm thinking that um I think it's necessary just because both advantages and caution is something that we want to consider in all the things that we are checking for any opportunities. So whatever is the advantage, whatever the caution, I think it's necessary. Unless otherwise, when you go back to your to your, what do you call this? Qualifying, you know
Hmm.
that we need to drop this as early as now because that's not something what we wanted to do. So I think advantages and caution is just necessary for us
Okay.
to understand. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair point. And anyone else? Anyone wants to give it a shot? Is it necessary that every information we have can be categorized either as advantage or a caution? Yes, Dindo, please.
I would say not all, Pavan,
Hmm.
unless it is connected with the opportunity you're trying to qualify.
Hmm.
So, like, there are certain information about the company or about the organization or even about the stakeholders or people that are connected with it, right? But not necessarily needed uh
Hmm.
in terms of the qualification you're looking for. So, I would say not all.
Okay, let's take a quick example. Customer has a close date for an RFP, right? It's an information available to everyone. Will it be an advantage for you? You have received an RFP and so have other three, vendors or partners. And there's a prescribed close date for this RFP. So is this information an advantage to anyone?
No,
Why do you say that, Indo?
because it's available to everyone.
Absolutely.
So it'll be my advantage.
Fantastic. And that brings me to the point of what advantages are. Every information you have, you will have to look at it from three different perspectives. One, does the information improve your position against others in the current opportunity? Or that information creates a differentiation? Or does it reduce your price sensitivity? If it doesn't do any of the three, then you might want to not mark it as an advantage for yourself. Okay, I'll repeat. You will have to check against the first three bullets on the screen, which is improves your position against others, it creates differentiation, or lessens price sensitivity. If either of the three are not getting checked, then that cannot be your advantage. So before we mark something as an advantage, let's be conscious that what is that it is checking against. For example, a lot of times customer gives a target price to only one or two preferred vendor in a race of about 4 or 5. That becomes your advantage because you know this. The second example, sometimes your product has features which the competition does not have.
Sorry, Pavan, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you. Can you repeat the pricing part? I couldn't hear correctly.
Okay. A lot of times, if there are 4 or 5 players in the opportunity, customer might share the target price only with one or two of them. So those two people will have advantage over the remaining three, right? Because for them, it creates a differentiation and improves their position than others.
Okay.
Now, let's look at the other example. Sometimes you would have product features or a service features which your competition does not have. That can be your advantage because it creates differentiation. Okay. Now let's look at a different scenario. You have a product differentiation today, but your competition is saying that they will be able to cover it up in 3 months. And your opportunity closure timelines is at least 5 months away. Would it still be your advantage? I'll repeat. As of today, your product is superior. You have a differentiator where competition cannot give a certain feature. Competition is claiming in 3 months they will be able to deliver that feature. And the opportunity close date is at least 5 months away. So will it be your advantage in the opportunity?
No,
What do others think? I think I need more answers from others. What do you guys think? Will it be your advantage?
No,
Okay, why?
that's because the competition is getting ready by 3 months and the target is still 5 months away. So there's still 2 more months to go
Yeah, fair enough. So for first 3 months, you can play on that differentiator. You can call that your advantage only for that 3 months window. The day your competition is able to deliver the same feature, you will become a me too player in the opportunity, which means you have lost your edge over there. There is no more advantage in that scenario. The reason I brought up that example is advantage and caution is dynamic in nature. This will not remain constant through the opportunity. You need to continually evaluate whether your advantages are still an advantage for you or not. Typically, we look at advantages at the start of the opportunity and then we assume through the cycle that they will remain your advantage, not necessary. This is a dynamic concept. So please keep checking back. Is it your advantage or not? Okay. Let's move to the second part, which is caution. I think which we just covered. Largely, it is a missing or uncertain information. Second, anything which we have not understood during the opportunity process is a caution. Third, if you're not able to reach out to relevant people, that's a caution. Your past escalation, your past customer experience is also, if it is negative, it is going to be a caution. And the most important one, or something which we should be very, very aware of, your competitor's strength will always be a caution. If your competition has a superior product or a superior delivery or a superior pricing, anything which they are better at than yourself, that is going to be a caution and an opportunity. Okay, we are going to be using this concept throughout the entire workshops wherever we go. So please remember, if you're not, if you want to ask this back over again, I'll be happy to explain it all over again. But this is important for us to evaluate in every scenario what is our advantage and what is our caution. And not necessary that every information you will have can be classified into two. As Dindo said, some information would be neutral, which is available to everyone. It is neither their advantage nor ours. It is neither their caution nor ours. So sometimes it's just plain information, like the close date of an RFP. It is public information. It is no one's advantage, no one's caution. Okay. Customer's problem statement in an RFP is no one's advantage, no one's caution. Okay, we're good till here? Fantastic. Let's move forward. Let's go down to what is qualification largely, and at what stage does it arise. We spent a good amount of time in the last conversation about suspect prospect. Would any of you want to quickly refresh your memory on what is suspect and what is a prospect? No one remembers what is suspect and what is a prospect? I think
Assess
Antonio
the
was not
customer.
there, so I'll not ask him, but rest of you should be able to answer this. Who is a suspect and who is a prospect?
Then we stated that a suspect is a person that they're not close on any specific deliverables or anything specific. But the prospect now is they know exactly where their pain points are and they're open to have discussions about it in regards to the different opportunities they have in their business.
Okay, fair. Jackie, you wanted to say something, please?
Um, I I remember, I think a prospect is the company or the client that it's already qualified for the offers that we are servicing, I believe.
Okay. I would not say that's entirely true, but fair enough. Whatever you remember.
May I,
Anybody wants to
Ravan?
take a shot? Yeah, please, Jure.
Yeah, so a suspect it is someone an ideal customer, but not really a confirmed customer or client, it means that he's not qualified yet. Unlike prospect, it's someone who's qualified.
Okay, fantastic. Done. Thanks for those inputs, everyone. So suspect is a list of your target. Okay, yes, Eman, please go ahead.
Sorry for I'm late. So
No.
what I think is a suspect is someone who may not have a need at this time. And a prospect is someone who's a potential customer and someone who has realized the need.
Okay, fair. That's one way to look at it. So by the book definition, suspect is your set of customers whom you want to target. So this is called as your target customer list. And how do you arrive at suspect? Everyone who is in your ideal customer profile. Every customer who fits in your ideal customer profile would be your suspect. So there's a limited set of customers whom you want to reach out to. That's your suspect list. Once you have made a contact with them, is when they become a prospect. Okay. When you make a contact with a suspect is when they convert into a prospect. You might still not have an opportunity. You have just reached out, expressed your conversation. What do you offer and what is that you do as a business, and that you're interested in exploring synergy with them. That's a prospect still. So you can have multiple conversation with a prospect without having an opportunity. Once a customer has expressed a business requirement which you can fulfill is when you have an opportunity. Once a customer has a business requirement which you can fulfill is an opportunity. And once you have an opportunity is when the qualification kicks in. So I'll repeat. Entire ideal customer profile list is your suspect. Once you have made a contact with them, they become your prospect. Once these customers have a business requirement which you can fulfill, will be an opportunity. And what we are trying to do is qualify these opportunities which you have unearthed with prospects. Yes, Hemant, please, you have a question.
Yeah, you mentioned that a suspect is a predefined list of customers, right?
Yes, yes.
So, my question is like, where do we get the predefined list?
Okay. So there's a framework called ideal customer profile, which I'm going to just decode in a moment as we go to the framework. Okay. Most organizations have their ideal customers defined. And it is based on that ideal customer profile, you choose a selected list of customers. So when your marketing team is reaching out to, probable customers in the market, they use a framework. Okay, you don't reach out to everyone because you cannot work with everyone. So that framework is called as ideal customer profile. I'll give you an overview of that as we move forward. And that brings you to your suspect list. In a lot of scenarios, it is called as a target market list, TML. Okay. So that is your suspect list. Once you have contacted this, customers in suspect list is when you move towards prospect. Are we clear? What is a prospect? What is an opportunity? And then we are qualifying. So your prospect should have a business requirement which you can fulfill for you to call it an opportunity. And then you qualify these opportunities. So that's where we are working on qualification right now. So let's look at a small case over here before we move forward. I wanted to read this and I'm going to be moving forward once you confirm me I've read this. Which approach resonates more with all of you? Aisha's approach or Kabir's approach? Yes,
Kabir.
Yeah, that's Kabir's approach. He's doing a lot of things right, but I
Okay,
just not.
Kabir. Okay. Dandy says Kabir. How about others?
Kabir has a better
Kabir.
approach.
Okay, fantastic. Others?
Kabir.
Kabir's for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who agrees with Aisha's approach?
No. It's like all
Do
over
we
the
fo-
place without certainty of anything.
And how many of us today follows Kabir's approach? How many of us follow Kabir's approach?
Well, sort of. Right now, we're learning how to do it properly. But
Okay, fantastic. Okay. So these are the outcomes. I think you guessed it as much. So there are no surprises there. These are the outcomes of what the Aisha's approach will lead someone to and what Kabir's approach will lead any sales professional into. Kabir would have a far more higher closure rate, which is about 3x. He would always be on a tailored proposal. The leadership will trust his forecast and he will have a predictable pattern in winning the deals. Which means with a smaller pipeline, Kabir might be able to achieve better outcomes and might be able to achieve his business goals quicker and easier. Beyond an impact on a person, we spoke about an organizational impact earlier, that why should you qualify the opportunities beyond the 3 reasons. So this is a cross section of that for all of you again. And I would let you read it before I move forward. It is largely into 4 things: efficiency, forecast accuracy, win rate, cost of sale, and customer reputation and experience. I think I'll let you read it before we move forward. Is everyone good with finish reading? Yes. Okay, thanks for that,
Yes.
Hemant. So a quick point which I want to stress upon. Qualification is not about disqualifying opportunities. So we are not trying to forcefully disqualify opportunities, and that's not the goal of the entire conversation. It is about prioritizing truth over hope. We do not want to be in a hope that we're going to win. We want to depend on the information which is available, quantify that information, and then make an informed decision. So qualification is about informed decisions. That what is the probability of we being able to win this given the scenario we are in. So please do not treat this tool as a disqualification tool that we are trying to discredit the work what someone has done. It is about helping you ensure that we need to find more information to improve our chances of winning. And we do not live on the hope that, okay, I might get it at a later point. That's the whole objective of the process. Which means if you have better qualification, you're going to have better focus, better deals, and better outcomes for everyone. So that's the purpose of the entire exercise, just re-emphasizing before we move into the framework which we're going to do. So we all agree Kabir's approach is far more better. It yields better results, gives better output for your time and efforts, and also helps the organization in the overall plan. Okay. With that, let's move into a quick question of how do you qualify today? Is there a, what are the questions you asked today to qualify? And this is open to everyone. I'm going to take a pause till the time I hear some questions around this. How do we qualify the opportunities today? Are the questions we are asking? I'm sure all of you ask certain questions. What do they look like?
First, urgency of the requirement.
Urgency of the requirement. Fair question. Okay. What else?
I would say determining the need. That
Okay,
the customer
determining
wants.
the need. Okay, fantastic. Okay, fair question again.
Type of services that they are requiring at the moment.
Okay, type of service they require. What else comes to your mind for qualifying an opportunity? What do you ask?
The requirement, the number of headcount required. I think that's...
Number of headcount. Okay.
Decision-making process and decision maker.
Sorry, Linda, you're saying something. Decision-making process followed by?
The decision-making process and the decision maker.
Okay. Do all of us ask the same questions today? We all ask different questions. Is there a set of questions which we have defined? Okay. Is there a set of questions which is defined by the team, which all of us ask? Or we take an individual approach to qualify the opportunities? How is it right now? Which is my second question. What approach do you use today?
I'm not sure if this is correct, but from my approach for the leads I'm getting, I'm having same standard questions. Like again, the urgency, what is the requirement? Do you have an existing vendor? What's the reason why you wanted to, venture out for another vendor? Is it a what do you call this? A champion challenger, or this is the first time? So these are all some of the standard questions I use, but specific to the services, it will depend on the need of the customer, right? So is it on omni-channel? Is it only back office? Or so because we need to understand our capabilities as well, not just, if we can um give them the number of hires, but of course the experience as well, or the case studies. So yeah.
Fantastic.
But is that the question or approach you use, Dandy? Or is it a common approach the team is using?
Oh, that's the standard approach I always do for all my leads.
Yeah, but not
for
the team.
For you, but not for the team.
Not for the team.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Sassy, I got your point.
Okay,
Sorry, but I think it's very similar to what Dandy does, that, or at least what I do.
Okay, fair. So in case some of you are using a similar approach, it's good. What we're trying to move towards is move to a framework, which we call as Identify. Now, Identify is an acronym, which we're going to decode as we move forward. It's an 8-letter acronym, which we're going to decode. We're going to be relying on this framework throughout our conversation. And we would try to ensure that we all try and use a similar framework for qualification. Okay. And this works for most of, so this framework is common across any B2B complex selling process. Okay. It uncovers all the parameters which you would need to qualify a B2B complex selling process. This is what an identifier is. If anyone of you have heard of MEDIC, anyone has heard of qualification framework called MEDIC? BAND. So there are multiple qualification frameworks which are there in the industry, and depending on the complexity of a sales transaction, there are frameworks which are applied. And identify is something which we have developed in-house. And that's why I said at the start, this is a copyrighted conversation which we have copyrighted with ourselves, and we call it as identify. Okay. Let's understand what does identify ideally mean. So identify is basically a modular and a holistic approach built up of 8 parameters. The first parameter is ideal customer profile, which is overarching. What you're seeing in the gray color all across, which is ideal customer profile. Now, what is an ideal customer profile? Ideal customer profile is typically arrived at on 4 different parameters in a B2B conversation. Demographic, which is basically where your customers are located. Second parameter is firmographic, which is what is the size of the organization, what is the revenue of the organization, how widespread they are, these kind of questions. Okay, that is your firmographic part.
What's the word again?
Okay, I'll just quickly type it so all of you
please.
With it. So I'll keep typing it on the chat. The first one is demographic.
Demographic, yeah. The second one is the
this
one
is
that
about the location. Okay, second one is called firmographic. This is basically about the organization size, revenue, presence, how old are they, right? All of those criteria. So this is very organization specific data. We call it firmographic. Okay, please. Okay, I've misspelled it. I'll correct it. Firmo. It is ideally spelled. So this is about the organization. The third one is called psychographic. Okay. This is basically how the organization really thinks. Are the early adopters of a certain technology, or they are the tech laggards that once the market has adapted, seen the entire cycle, that's when they will end up buying a technology. So a simple example of this would be cloud adoption. You would see customers who were very early to adopt a cloud, and there were customers who waited for someone to adopt in their industry, and then after seeing a couple of years is when they will adopt it. Right? So this is basically about how do customers think. This is psychographic. How do they make a business decision? This also covers the value system of an organization, which typically is not visible at the early stage of conversation. Do they respect their partners? Do they try to work with their partners for a longer term, or they believe in changing a partner every 1 or 2 years? These are all psychographic features. Okay. Fourth one is called technographic. What does this mean? What is the present technology scenario in this customer's environment? How matured are they to adopt anything you're trying to sell into them? For example, a customer who does not have a data center yet was very difficult to sell a cloud conversation into, because all the applications were legacy, someone else was managing it, they had zero control over everything. So move from zero data center to a cloud was a hard sell. Right? This is a typical scenario that is the customer ready technically in the technical maturity curve to adopt your solution. Okay, this is what a technographic is. Now, all these 4 parameters are typically used in conjunction to arrive at an ideal customer profile. And this itself is about a day exercise. So we are not going to go deeper into it, but I wanted to give you an idea of how an ideal customer profile is arrived. Okay. If you might, I'll encourage you to go back and ask what your ideal customer profile is to your business leaders. I'm sure they will have an answer for you on this. So you can check what does your ideal customer profile look like, and then align all your businesses across it. So all your opportunities, the first criteria should be they should be with a customer who fits your ideal customer profile. So if you're working on an opportunity which is outside your ideal customer profile, you would have to have a very strong business reason to work on it. Every business has a ratio of about 80 and 20. 80% of the customers or the opportunities will come from their ideal customer profile. There is always the exception of 20% which sits outside ideal customer profile. So please be aware there are both scenarios possible, but exceptions are rare. So when you're qualifying, your first question to yourself would be that, is this customer in our ideal customer profile? Which is your first factor. Okay, and given that this customer is a part of your suspect, you have been talking to them and you have found an opportunity, we typically assume that ideal customer profile is a match. Okay, this is something which we are not going to stress upon during our conversation, but this is how you arrive at ideal customer profile. I'll take a pause. Any questions on ideal customer profile? By definition, ideal customer profile is a customer who has the highest probability of giving you business, being in business with you for a longer period, and benefiting most out of whatever you offer. By definition, ideal customer profile is, or ideal customer is someone who has a higher probability of giving you business, being in business with you for a longer time, and benefiting most out of your offerings. So that's the definition by the book. Okay, that's the first parameter. Now the remaining 7 parameters, which we're going to cover up in identify framework. First is a solution fitment. Do we have a solution which fits the customer business? Do we know the decision-making process? Are we aware of the timelines of decision? Are we aware of the people who will be involved in decision-making? Are we aware of our competition? Are we aware of the budget? And how urgent is it? Is it must have or is it good to have? These are the parameters which we're going to apply for qualifying an opportunity. And then we call it on the top that it's a modular approach as well. What does that mean? If you're working on a very, very simple opportunity, which is quick close, then you can choose not to apply all the 7 pillars over here. Okay, you can choose some of them which are important, like budget, who are the people, what is the timeline, and what is the urgency. In short, we call it BANT. I'll again type it on the chat. The shorter version is called as BANT, which stands for budget, authority, need, and time. That's the acronym again. For the simple opportunities, you might not have enough time, or you might not be able to get all the information. So please use the shorter version, which is what I've just put it on the screen. Okay. Hence we call it modular. So for a large and a complex, you have to use everything. For the simpler one, you can go with a scaled down version of it. Now let's define what an identify is. Why did we call an acronym? Because I said 8 parameters, but I've still not given you the entire breakdown of this. Let's go one by one. In identify, I stands for ideal customer profile. So your customer should be in your ideal customer profile. D is the decision-making process plus decision-making criteria. E is basically the competition. We call it enemy in this conversation. So IDE. N is the need maturity, which is how urgent the business requirement is. Is it must to have or nice to have? T is timing. When will this opportunity close? I is influencers, which is the number of people involved and what role are they playing in this opportunity. Influencers is the role every stakeholder is playing in the opportunity. F is fitment of the solution. And Y, which is basically an yen sign, represents the budget. So IDENTIFY. If you can remember identify, you would be able to remember all the parameters which are required to qualify an opportunity. Okay, what does this really mean? What should we know for us to say that we know this information? So this is where we are. First, ideal customer profile remains same. That is the customer part of a customer segment. D typically means, do we know a very clear agenda of customers' decision-making process and what is their top criteria for deciding for this opportunity? Can we differentiate decision-making process and criteria? Can someone give me an example of decision-making process and criteria? What is the difference? What is decision-making process and what is decision-making criteria?
For me, of a decision-making process would be more of the actual flow of
Yes.
how the decision making is being done, and then the
Mhm.
decision making criteria is more of specific requirement that may be needed on a certain part of the process.
Okay, almost there. Anyone else who wants to take a shot? What is the difference between a process and a criteria?
For me, the decision process, it will be like the steps of the process and the people that it's currently involved in it. And on the criteria, it will be like the factors that are contributing to it.
Factors, you would want to explain a little more. What do we mean by factors here?
For example, like the standards that we are using to compare the options.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to quickly get in and define what is the decision-making process and criteria? Okay, process, I think all of you got it right. Process is basically the flow of decision-making. For example, who will start talking about the requirement? Who will approve it? Who all other people will be involved in approving before it reaches procurement? After it reaches procurement, what will happen? Does it go to finance? Does it not go to finance? Will they release an RFP? Will they not release an RFP? This is a decision-making process. Okay, this is largely the process. Criteria is what is the outcome or on what basis are we going to evaluate who are going to come in. Criteria could be how many such clients you have, one criteria. What is your revenue? Again, a criteria. What is your delivery lead time? Is a criteria. Price is a criteria. Correct? How much is your geographical spread? Is a criteria. So criteria might change for every opportunity and they could be different. These are basically the parameters based on which customer will rate and select the partners. That is criteria. Okay. Going down to E. How much do we know about our competition? That's the another information which we need to capture when we're trying to qualify. And we're going to go more detail into each of these parameters as we move forward. How urgent is this requirement for the customer, which can also be measured by the fact that what happens if they do not meet the given deadline, or what happens if they delay this decision furthermore. So that is the urgency part of it. What is the impact of not taking a decision or impact of inaction over here? That is the urgency part which we should be aware of. Timeline in terms of if they do not make a decision within a certain time frame, how does it impact their business? Or if they take a decision within a timeline, how does it impact their business? The timeline is sacrosanct in terms of the impact it causes on the business. Influencers. This again has two things. One, do we know the people who are going to sign off and who are the stakeholders who will influence the choice of partner? Second, do we have someone who is going to be working along with us? In a lot of ways, we call it champion, right? Do we have a champion in this account? Do we know someone who is going to guide us on how to win this opportunity? That's the two section of influencers, which is I. F, do we have a solution which aligns to the customer's business requirement and also assuring that does competition have anything better than that? Do they have a better alternatives than us? So fitment is not about only we having a right solution, but does the customer have a better option to execute on? And the last one, do they have a budget available for this entire thing in this given scenario? Or at least a clear path to secure money for this opportunity. That is what identify entails. Okay. Now, before I move forward, I think we have been 1.5 hours into the conversation. Let's take a quick 10 minutes break or a 15 minutes break and then come back. Okay. Before we move forward, let's take a quick 15 minutes break and then we start again.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
sounds good. Thanks, Vavan.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Tina, are you there? Okay, fantastic, everyone. Before we move to the next section, we spoke so much about opportunity qualification. I have a question for all of you. Is account qualification same as opportunity qualification? Is account qualification same as opportunity qualification? Or they are two different things? Hemant says two different things. Hemant, you would want to
I think
throw
they're
some
two
light
different.
on it? Christina, Hemant just saying something, so I'm asking him.
Yeah, I think it's two different things because account qualification may not be as the same as the opportunity qualifications. Under a same account, there might be multiple LOBs which we may not be able to support.
Okay, fair. What do others think? Is account qualification same as opportunity qualification? Christina, you were trying to say something, please.
No, I agree with her, but just saying account qualification could be more like the company itself. If it's a big enough company, if they have like, financial stability, stuff like that, and the opportunities like specific like LOBs or that we can get from them.
Okay, fantastic. So I think both of you are right there. Account qualification is largely about, as an organization, is it a good fit for you to work as a customer? And it could be on the parameters of what you just said. It could be a revenue, could be the stability, the kind of manpower they have, right? And we spoke about the psychographic and the technographic on all those parameters. In a given account, you can have multiple opportunities. And you might be able to qualify some and you might not be able to qualify some. So account qualification is a choice of the customer whom you want to work with, but you will not want to work on all the opportunities with a given customer. You might want to turn some of them down and say that, no, we are not the right partner, or probably you're not, we do not intend to do this business with you. So opportunity qualification is a different conversation than account qualification. Let's not mix both of them. Okay. By the end of the session, you would get another file from Tina when we finish the conversation today. The file is going to have a complete detail on what is an account qualification and what is an opportunity qualification. Okay, so you will have a lot more insight about both the topics over there to demystify what is account and what is opportunity. Okay. With that, let's move to the next part of the conversation. Now we're going to start drilling down into all the parameters what we have on the screen, except for the ideal customer profile. We're going to get into D, E, N, T, I, F, and Y. We're going to be getting into each of these parameters and getting into detail of what does this really mean from a qualification perspective. That's where we are headed right now. Before we get there, I want you to read this. And given most of the cameras are off, Christina is having breakfast. Christina, this is not for you. I am not able to make a sense of when you would be able to finish reading, so I need a show of hands. Yes, Jinder, you're done reading. Okay, fantastic.
Yes, I'm done.
Yeah. For everyone, the question is, what do you think will happen in this opportunity? Is Alex going to win this, or has he missed something and he's going to lose this? What would be the outcome of the opportunity? What will be the outcome of this opportunity? Does Alex have all the information which he should have before he gets into the further action, or he should have held this back?
No,
No, no.
he should have paused.
And what he should be looking for in that case, Jinder?
Well, there's gonna be a lot of other things. Like if we're talking about in terms of the acronym identifier, right? Um, talking about decision making process. There is a definitive expression of a problem, right?
Mm,
But
mm,
there are a lot of other things that you need to to look into, like
mm,
again, decision making process, your competition, uh, in terms of there is a problem, but the maturity of that need, is it the right timing,
mm.
or talking about the timeline of the customer, right?
Okay,
And other things.
okay. Yes, Randy, please.
Right. So if I'm looking at the opportunity provided by the
Mm,
customer, right?
mm,
The issue is a recurring challenge, and it It's rooting to the fact that there are backlogs within the organization in poor coordination between internal level to teams. The solution provided by Alex is an OmniCourse full-scale managed CX outsourcing model. And so, giving this up, jumping into conclusion that end-to-end process is something that we can leverage in terms of offering to the customer as a solution. I feel like this is we did not do due diligence. There should have been some questions around what are if this is recurring challenges, what have we done so far from an internal standpoint? Right? Number one. Number two, looking at internal level two coordination. What are the processes? What are the tools that are being used by these people? Are this something that we can support given the privacy, given the and all that, right? The compliances.
Okay.
Because if we're talking about a full end-to-end process, we need to understand first where the challenges is coming from. Is this something that we can support, which the customer is confident enough to give us more visibility and access to?
Okay. Fair. Fantastic. So are you saying that there should have been a little more conversation about what solution is right for the customer here?
That is correct. Again, we should not assume that it's a full nine
Like
yards of the
outsourcing
solutions that we.
opportunity.
Yep. Right.
Oh,
Correct. We need to understand first the deeper issue coming out from. Is it really staffing? Is it the tool itself? Is it the CRM which is impacting the productivity and the logistics and whatnot? So I think there's more to ask before we can present this immediate solution.
okay. Fantastic. Anyone else who wants to add in? Thanks so much, Glenn, for that, Dandy, and Dindo as well. Okay. This is what happens in the opportunity. And I think Dandy was almost there in terms of what he identified. Okay. The message being solution fitment is something which we need to very consciously check. We cannot assume that customer would need a certain solution. In a qualification process, when we talk about solution fitment, we would want to be very clear that the customer has acknowledged what is the solution they're looking for. And we have a complete clarity on how do they visualize the solution, what they have for the problem. Okay, if we are force fitting or if we try to assume the solution, we're going to be having surprises like a stalled sales cycle, loss of credibility, or a. That brings me down to the first factor which we are trying to cover up, fitment of the solution. Okay, so we just saw a classic example of why fitment of solution is important. The question to all of you is that what are the questions we ask today when we get into a qualification to check the fitment? What kind of questions do we ask the customers today? Think about it. What are the kind of questions we ask to check if whatever you're proposing is in line with the customer's business requirement?
I think Dandy had already highlighted some event
Yeah.
earlier,
Yes.
where we would want to understand if the requirement of the customer is more into a section of the process or a support to an existing team, or is it going to be a entirely new team, something like that.
Okay. Fair. Yes, Jackie, you wanted to say something, please.
Yes, I think to start we need to do like some discovery questions to our client to understand better their needs and how we can support them. Then get to the problem, I'm sorry, that they are facing or they are currently having. And then I would say like the impact of the issues that they are having and the
Okay.
solutions that we are going to be providing as a company, right? If they get the services that we are offering. And that's what I have right now.
Okay. Fair. How about others? What kind of questions do you ask to check the fitment of the solution?
So, like their current setup, probably, yeah, understanding the current setup, like the current solutions that they currently have,
Okay.
if there's any pain points, like reason for change or anything specific that they're looking for. I'd say yeah, I'd start there. I'd probably start with the current setup and pain points.
Okay.
Identify exactly what are the pain points they have. I'd start there.
Okay. Fair. Okay. So the reason we are doing this is we need to have a practice of asking the right question to the customer to get the information from the customer. And we're going to be running across some of the sample questions after every section to help you start thinking as to what kind of questions can be asked. The important thing, these are sample list of questions. These are not exhaustive list. Okay. So this is going to help you get your thoughts aligned on what kind of questions can you ask and what is that we can do in terms of getting information. So most of you covered the first one, what are your business requirement? I think the other questions could be around what is the trigger for this business requirement. If you go back to your sales call planner, we call this as NBT, need behind the need. What is the trigger for this business requirement? That could be the other question you could ask. And you could ask a couple of more questions in terms of what would be the success? How will you measure success for the entire solution you're looking for? What is your definition of success? One of the important thing what you're seeing on the screen, which is around here, is this is a question you don't need to ask your customer, but you need to ask yourself that do you have a solution fit that the client is looking at? Or am I trying to force fit? What do we mean by force fit? What do we mean by force fit?
Just giving them a solution that's aligned to the specific pain point that they're facing. Probably like what Alex did before. He assumed that he understood exactly what the customer was saying based on a broad overview and then just provided them with a cluster of solutions that didn't align to the business needs.
Yes. So Alex could have taken a step back during the course of the opportunity and redefined the solution over there. That, okay, I have oversized it. I would want to revise my proposal and get it aligned to what you need. But we don't see that kind of a conversation coming on the table. A force fit also means in terms of pushing the customer to acknowledge what you have available, even though that is not a right fit for the customer at that point. Because I do not have an alternate available, pushing the customer to align to what our product does or a service does. That is also an example of a force fit in a lot of cases. So if you're force fitting, you're going to have a challenge at a later point where the customer might look at a better alternative, which means all the hard work which you have been doing is going to go, absolutely unfruitful, or you will not be able to get any benefit out of it. So you need to ask this question to yourself in most of the opportunities. Do we have a right solution or we are trying to force that? Okay, how many of us really work on the last point on the screen? Do we have the right resources and know how to internally deliver the solution? Do we check this typically? This is another good question which we should ask ourselves.
Yeah,
And
I
we
think
hope.
we do.
We do?
I think we do, yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay,
When it
fantastic.
comes to checklist, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is another check which we need to have internally, that do we have the right solution for the customer and the know-how. If it is a new industry, then probably you would want to be conscious, right? So that's where these challenges crop up. And again, these are sample questions. Now with this thought process, I have a question for you again. Are there any more questions which come to your mind which we can add over here to qualify, how to qualify for the solution fitment? Any thoughts?
Yeah, we can check about the budget. What are the budget requirements of the customer?
Okay, fair. Budget will be a budget question or a solution fitment question as per you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Maybe what are the priorities at the moment? Sure.
Priorities for Christina. Sorry, could you explain that a little more?
Well, depending on what the issue or issues the client has, maybe they already have their priorities.
Okay, fair. One of the question could be, what have you done, which Dandy used earlier? What is that you have done to resolve this problem earlier? What did not work in your previous solution? That's also a part of a solution fitment, because you do not want to reinvent the wheel. If they have tried something, you would want to exclude that part of the conversation, right? What did not work? What have you done to address this business issue earlier? That's again a part of solution fitment. Fair. And how fast would you want to resolve this? That's a question which will overlay with time, but will also be working over here in terms of priority, which will again be a solution fitment in some sense. Okay. So these are the sample questions. Now I would bring you down to your opportunity. Has everyone selected an opportunity by now? We worked on that sheet, right? So everyone has an opportunity. Anyone who does not have an opportunity on that sheet before I move next? Anyone who does not have an opportunity on the worksheet? Yes, Hemant, please.
Yeah, I do not have an opportunity.
Okay, would you want to tag with someone so that you can work together?
Sure, I can tag with anyone who has an active opportunity.
Okay, you want to choose whom do you want to tag with?
I think Dandy mentioned he has an active opportunity, right? So
Okay, Dindo raised the hand, so
Right.
you can work with Dindo probably. Dindo,
sure.
No,
you raised the hand for the
no,
same
no.
reason?
Actually, yeah, actually, Papa, it's gonna be the same reason. And most likely, I would tag June as well. So we don't
Okay,
have any working opportunity at this point.
Yep, same
okay,
here.
okay. So would you want to take, when you say you have no opportunity where you're going to propose something or where you propose something to the customer? No live opportunities at all?
It's just that, Pavan, that
None.
we are new to the programs that we are
Okay.
supporting.
Yes, so
Yeah.
effective. I think the beginning of this month, they now report to me, so they're now going into the B2B space.
Hmm.
So they're coming into the B2B space, so they don't have any open opportunities yet.
Okay, in that case, can we regroup ourselves and you find a tag partner with yourself where you can work with each other? Is that okay?
So I'll take them both. They can work with me in regards to open opportunities based on the fact that they're coming into my space, the B2B.
Sorry, Romain, could you repeat that for me?
That I'll take them because they're coming into my space for B2B. So we'll work together on the open opportunities that we have on this neck of the woods.
So I will need a request. Can you put your tag team partner's name on the chat, both the team partners, so that we can create the breakout rooms. And every time we do this work, you guys can be working together in the breakout rooms. I would need you to choose a team member for yourself. With whoever has an opportunity, I want you to tag together. So June and Dindo will be tagged with Romain. Okay. Fair enough. Who else? In that case, Hemant, in that case, you want to work with Dandy?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Tina, I will request you to make a note of this. We will need to create the rooms according to this. So Dandy and Hemant. Tina, you there?
Yes, Pawan.
Okay. I would request you to make a note of these groups so that we can create one.
Okay.
Hemant and Dandy. Anyone else who does not have an opportunity? Antonia, you have an opportunity for yourself to work on?
I don't have one, Pavan.
That was,
Jackie.
I'm sorry, I could not look at Jackie.
Jackie.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No, my camera keeps flipping around. Antonia, you have one with yourself?
Yes, I do have one, but it is with a pre-existing client. It's just a different LOB, but I do have one.
Fair enough.
Will that
I
work?
think that would be okay. So
Okay.
is it okay if we club Jackie along with you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So Antonio and Jackie can work together. But Jeda, you have an opportunity for yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so Jeda has one. That makes it easier. Who else are we looking at? Who does not have? Christina, whom do you want to work with?
Well, I have one.
Okay.
I think I have one that I can think I can work it.
Okay, you can work on something?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So is everyone now aligned with one of your team member or yourself for an opportunity? Anyone who does not have one right now? Okay, fantastic. So we will largely need 3 breakout rooms, Tina, and then rest of them can keep working here or choose how do you want to do it. Okay.
Pawan, can you please repeat it again because I
Okay.
have.
So June, Dendo, and Romain will be in one room.
Okay.
Hemant and Dandy will be in one breakout room.
Okay.
Antonio and Jackie will be in one breakout room.
Done.
Right? And rest of the people are working individually. So you can just give them one room so that everyone has a place to work.
And Christina Jeda is in one room, right?
Sorry?
Christina and Jeda is in another room, right?
No,
Sorry.
Christina will be in a separate room. Jada will be in separate room.
Okay.
Fair? Okay, done. So this is what we're going to do next, everyone. Whatever opportunity you have chosen, okay, you need to come up with the questions for your individual opportunity. So you're going to work as a team if you're working in a team, or you will work individually if you have chosen an opportunity for yourself. But you need to come up with minimum 3 questions which you will ask the customer to uncover the solution fitment for that opportunity. I'll repeat. You will have to come up with 3 questions which you will ask the customer to uncover solution fitment for the opportunity you're working on. Okay? Yes, someone raised hand. Hemant, yes, please.
Yeah, so you just shared a sample list of questions. So
Yes.
the questions that we need to come up with can be from the sample list, or
Can
should
be
those be
from there,
different?
can be new questions as well. Up to you.
Got.
Okay. So there is no restriction. You can choose one from there, two of your own, or two from there, one of your own, all of it. The objective is if you're able to write beyond those questions, it is going to be helpful. But if you choose from there, there is no restriction. Okay. But we need minimum 3 questions. Fair enough. Now, where are you going to capture this? This is where I take you back to the worksheet which we had worked on earlier again. Do let me know when you can see the screen. Okay, so you will see fitment of solution over here on this sheet. I'm highlighting this. Okay, first thing, you're going to write your questions over here in this section. You're going to write your questions in this section. Then there's a section about advantage and caution, which says anything you know about this opportunity, what is your advantage or caution over here. So you're going to capture it over here from a fitment of solution perspective. Okay. And third column you have is yes, no, unsure, not applicable. What that means is if you feel you have a fitment of solution, say yes. If you say no, then it is in. If it is unsure, then you're going to say US. And when you say not applicable, probably you have no idea what that opportunity is right now and you have not decided of solution yet. Okay. So look at the top of the column and then start filling this, but you will remain focused only on this section. So you're going to write all your 3 questions over here. And then these 2 columns you can fill basis the information you have about that opportunity. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to take 5 minutes. Tina, you can open the breakout rooms. You will have 5 minutes. Please do come up with 3 questions. And my request will be to focus on 3 questions minimum. If you have more, it is okay. We are going to be leveraging everyone's work towards the end of the workshop. So it is important that all of us bring 3 questions so that we have a variety at a later point. Okay. Fantastic. So I'll leave you with this for next 5 minutes.
And Tina will be moving us to the break room, right?
Yes, yes. She will be opening the breakout rooms in a moment.
I got it, got it.
Yeah, I think she has opened it already. So all of you can quickly jump in. Jackie, you're able to see the pop-up? Amay, you there? Amay, you there? No. Okay.
Pawan, hi, I'm there. You there?
Yes, I'm pretty much there. You want to join
Yeah,
Hassan
sorry.
up and explain Romain that he can explain the opportunity to the remaining 2?
Sure.
I will tell that to Antonio probably. That would help.
Okay. So Romain's opportunities to be explained to everyone else.
Yeah, June and Indo does not have. So Romain and June and Indo will work with Romain. So that's the whole point.
No problem. I'll join.
Okay. Yeah.
I have another question.
Yeah, please. Absolutely fine. Go ahead.
For example, one of the questions I made, because I already talked to them, is like if they have another vendor, right? And they do. I already know that. And actually, one of the issues they're facing is with that vendor, and that's why they're looking for it. That would be an advantage, right? Or a caution.
Well, why would that be an advantage? Think it that way. Why would that be an advantage?
Well, because I already know the information as a fact, the enemy is not working properly, so I can provide a solution, and that's giving me an opportunity, no? Or
Okay, fair. Now you need to evaluate it on two different parameters. One, everyone who is working on this opportunity, are they aware of this information?
Not sure.
Yeah, so that's why it can't be an advantage, right? Second reason, if you're very sure that everyone else does not have this input, then it will be your advantage.
Yeah, but since I don't know, I have to put as cautious.
That's why it is a missing information. So it would rather be a caution for you.
Okay.
Second would be the second way you can look at it is that are you aware of what did not work?
Yes.
Correct. And if you know that information, that would be your advantage because then you can solution it better. And that would help you differentiate yourself that this does not work. So we are giving you a new approach. So 3 points of advantage was it improves your position.
Yes.
It creates a differentiation and reduces the price sensitivity.
Yeah.
So if you know what did not work,
okay, so it would
then
be
you
an
can have a
advantage.
differentiation for yourself, right?
Yes.
So presently it is an information for you. You will have to work a little more to bring it to your advantage.
Okay.
So you can go and ask the customer that, Mr. Customer, can you please help me understand what solution or what challenges you had with the proposed solution?
Okay.
Correct? With the partner who is not working for them.
Yeah.
The existing partner. What was the challenge in the solution provided by the existing partner?
Okay.
Correct? Now you will have an information which is going to give you edge over others.
Okay, I already have that. For example, just for you to know. So they're currently working with a BPO in the Philippines, but with the hurricanes and everything, that vendor only has a site on Manila, I think. Well, I don't remember, but Philippines. They don't have a backup plan, like nothing.
Fantastic. So that information is your advantage.
Yes. So already, exactly, because what I did is I talked to them, okay, that's we can offer different geos, different, like in case of something like that.
Yeah. Now this information will be your advantage till the time your competitors do not ask this question.
Yes.
The day your competition knows this information, it is not your advantage anymore.
Oh, of course.
Okay. So it's, as I said, it is dynamic.
Okay. Yeah.
So as of today, you can mark it as your advantage. But if you realize at a later point, competition also knows this.
Okay.
Then it will no more be an advantage. It will just become an information for you. That's all.
Yes. Okay.
Fair?
Okay.
You get the difference, how to look at it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, for example, if another, I don't know if this is, oh, well, I think we're going to check this in a bit, but another one is that I said is how will you measure your success? So they need literally coverage whenever they have a blackout or whatever. That would be success. To have coverage, that would be an advantage for me or cautious.
What do you think?
I would say an advantage because I already know the issue and I know that I can solve it.
How about the competition? Do they know it?
Again, I don't know. Okay, so cautious. That one would be cautious because there's no way for me to know. Okay.
Yeah, but you can ask the customer, has this been disclosed to everyone?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So sometimes that's why we're doing this entire exercise because it will also help you ask right questions to the customers.
And for example, when it comes to timelines, because I put four questions instead of three, I put like, how soon do you need this to be solved, or what's your timeline to address this?
So a lot of questions will overlay, Christine. What you just asked will set in the timeline also. It will set in urgency also, and it will set over here also. Right? So a lot of questions will be overlay. The objective is to secure the information so we can qualify better.
Okay.
It's okay to ask that question in any category.
Okay.
Right? It's okay to ask an overlaying question. So that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
So
timelines, as soon as they give me their timelines, I would be, no. And I don't know, because it's the same thing. If the other vendors knows the timelines as well, then it's not an advantage.
Yes. So it's difficult to gain an advantage so easily. Right? Typically, what we feel is every information we have is our advantage.
Okay.
But then we do not evaluate that. Is it creating a differentiation? Is it reducing price sensitivity? Is it improving your position? Or we don't think, is it an information which is publicly available? In either of the cases, it will not be an advantage in that case.
Okay.
So we need to think that way to call something as an advantage.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm done with my
Yeah, I'm just closing the room in about just now times. So in a minute,
I'm gonna run to the bathroom and I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Okay, have everyone back. We have a few more to come.
Damn.
Fantastic.
I'm telling you, Pavan, Ami was there and he knows we're having a good conversation. He was really there. He'll confirm that. Ouch.
Okay. Let's look at the next part of the thing. Now I want one person from every group to bring the sheet on the screen. So let's start with Hustle Hub. So Dindo, June, and Romain, who wants to bring up the sheet? Who was working on it?
Because I had the sheet going,
Please.
so I'll bring it over.
Okay. Yeah, please.
All right. Let me just. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, let me share my screen. Okay, here's the sheet. You guys want me to give a bit of context and then go down to the fit what we have here?
Yeah, let's look at the questions.
Sure, let me.
How is the bilingual mobility program currently performing in El Salvador? Yes. Okay, you can read the questions loud so everyone can hear. Probably that would be helpful.
Sure. We were in mid discussion. I'm gonna be very honest. We weren't done yet, but we were in mid discussion. Some of the fitment of your solution that we have is basically it's tied to growth because this is about growth. In regards to growth in a different location, we are the business. AT&T wants to expand their bilingual, presence outside of just us within the business and just one geo, and that's what we're aiming towards. So the fitment of your solution that we have for a few questions, we weren't done yet, but we have a few, is that how's the bilingual mobility loyalty program currently performing in El Salvador against your KPIs, which is KPI requirements, I guess that should have been. And then the next question that we have is, would adding Colombia as a second bilingual hub align with your nearshore risk diversification strategy. Because that's something that we're looking to do, not just only offer them El Salvador as a bilingual hub, but also Colombia. For this part of the business, we're trying to grow and expand. We're trying to add a next location to AT&T's, plate for us at least. What level of geographic redundancy is ideal for mobility loyalty? And also, how important is it for AT&T to reduce dependence on a single bilingual delivery region? Which right now, Fusion CX is their single Fusion CX El Salvador is a single bilingual region that AT&T has for loyalty right now.
Okay. Question to all of you. The question number 2. Would adding Colombia as a second bilingual hub align with your nearshore diversification strategy? Is this opening a new opportunity question, or is it a solution fitment question? And the question is for everyone. Everyone can contribute. We are talking about, would adding Colombia as a second bilingual hub align with your nearshore risk diversification strategy? Is it going to open a new conversation, or is it going to help you qualify for the solution fitment?
I think it would help. I don't think it's opening a completely new conversation, to be honest, because it's something that I already ventured into. And that's the thing about it, we're already doing that business already. It's just that we're having the conversation of, how much more can we help you expand such need based on your opportunity the opportunity that we've identified with AT&T that they've shared.
Okay, fair enough. So your perspective is you're trying to help them achieve their KPIs faster by asking that question.
Yeah, I think it's more of, okay, then currently you have this part of the business in this location. And of course, you want to expand as a vendor. I don't think anybody wants to have all the eggs in one basket. And I think currently right now they're noticing that the eggs is in one basket with us, Future, because we're the main bilingual provider within El Salvador, right? So we know that they want to diversify and expand their locations for bilingual support. Because if we should go down in El Salvador specific or something should go wrong, like for instance, right now, staffing is a problem. I don't want to air out all my dirty laundry, but I have to talk about it. Staffing is slightly a problem within our El Salvador location for bilingual agents. If we expand to our next location, what if that next location in that same, nearshore risk diversity with staffing being a problem, and in Colombia, I probably can right size and staff well in Colombia and still not lose business as Fusion versus we're not able to staff adequately right now in El Salvador. So it is, So tell me what you guys
I get that. I get that. Okay, it's a borderline question for you in your mind, which is fine. Okay, fantastic. So I think you've got about 3 or 4 of them. Fair enough. Done. Next, let's go to winning ways. I think Dandy and Hemant, you guys were working on it. If you could share your sheets. Thanks, Roman, for that.
Let me share my screen. You guys can see my screen, right?
Coming up.
Not yet.
Yes,
now we can see.
Okay. So I just wanted to put context on this.
Wait, but we can see your email.
Yeah, we see your email, not the sheet on which you worked.
Oh, sorry. I was about to do that, but I just wanted to give you a backgrounder.
Okay, please. Go ahead.
Sorry. Sorry, just to put the context on the opportunity. Right. So we got this from our website. And they wanted to get a quote, right? And so this is the information that the company is asking us. So they wanted to partner with us, and they've identified that Fusion is a potential partner based from what they have identified that we are strong, right, in partnering with their services. And so they want us to be accredited first, right? Okay. So basically, those are just the information that was given by the customer. Okay. So let me move to our worksheet. Can I just Because I cannot edit that. So can I just put it here in the
Yeah,
meantime?
please. That's fine. That's fine.
What? What the fudge? Okay. No. Okay. I'll just write it here. Sorry.
You can just
So
control
these are the
and
questions.
paste it there.
Okay. But you guys see the questions, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So first off, I wanted to ask what made you decide to look for a partner? That's number one. Wanted to understand as well, how is the work currently being managed? Is it in-house or with a different vendor? The third question is, what are the challenges that you're encountering with your existing team, whether it's in-house or outsourcing, and what do you want to achieve? So I wanted to ask for the success measure. And then there's this one are just supplementary, but I feel like this is important as well. So I wanted to get the urgency of the requirement, because they are shortlisting, they are accrediting potential vendors. So looks like from my understanding, there is no urgency, but I wanted to prepare for that, right? So I wanted to understand the urgency of the requirement, and then I wanted to ask, do you have details on the below, like potential call volume, working budget? Because from what my understanding is, pricing is always been part of, deciding for outsourcing or moving to another vendor, right? Whether they're performing, the current vendor is performing or not performing, it's always the pricing, right? And then I wanted to talk about the last part, which is to me the meaty part. Is I wanted to ask the customer, when is the best time for us to talk about the potential partnership in details, right? Because they might have answered this, but I wanted to ask some couple of questions in reference to what they have discussed on those questions, right? And then if I move here on the right side, both of us decided that it's an advantage. Advantage is because if we go back to the discussion, we're talking about pricing sensitivity, we're talking about understanding the opportunity, tailor fitting the solution based that we can provide to the customer. And then while on the other hand, if we talk about the C part, right? The caution. The caution there is, it says knowing the strengths of the other vendor, right? I know that there is two vendors supporting this, but we can definitely look at their company profile, right? But if we know exactly what the customer is talking about, we probably don't know if it's the A or the B vendor, right? But we know that one or the other has these challenges, right? And so to me, this is a great opportunity for us to target as an advantage, right? Because we know what's what's the what's the uh what's the reason why they wanted to look for another vendor, whether it's a whether it's a um um champion challenger model, right? So what we don't know, but I wanted to put that as an advantage. And then here we put a yes, just because there's an opportunity for us. We just have to be more quote unquote not too aggressive, but we wanted to put across that we are very interested with your business and we wanted to understand more of your business. And so that exactly are the things that we have put in place here.
Okay. How many of you agree with the advantage point over here? Is this an advantage? Whatever Danny just spoke about.
May we please look into the questions again, please?
Danny, your voice is pretty feeble. You will have to be a little louder. Lindo, could you repeat that? I could not gather that.
No, I'm asking if it's possible to see again the questions.
No, he has just written advantage over here, and the point Andy is trying to make is that given there's a problem they have, it is an advantage for them. advantage for Dandy. Dandy, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Given they have a problem, it is an advantage for us. How many of you would agree to that? Okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
No. No. If we are just going to base it on your statement question, Pavan, like
Hmm.
because there is a problem,
Hmm.
it's our advantage, right?
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
because it can be common to any other vendor.
Fantastic. It's a
Oh,
public
so
information largely, right? Everyone knows that they have a problem. So this cannot be an advantage for you, Dandy.
Well, I'll incline to believe that to me, um, I get your point that pretty much it's not only Fusion that they have sent to get a code, right?
Yes.
So any potential client, I mean potential vendor, will definitely be getting this opportunity, right?
Yes.
To me, the reason why I feel like it's an advantage is because this is something that we are already in the doorstep, if so to speak. But I get the
Okay.
point. If in technicality, people
Mhm.
knows that there's an opportunity and everybody will be crowding, right? But to me, from a standpoint, I feel like we are given that advantage, right? So I don't think that out of the X number of vendors, they will they will they will send a note for a quotation, right?
Okay. So go back to when we went to the previous few slides. We said qualification is finding truth and not relying on the hope.
Yep.
And right now you're relying on the hope saying that others might not quote. Correct?
But
That's
look at
one.
your slide here. It says
Yeah, sure.
improves the
I'll just explain
positioning.
it to you.
Yeah.
I'll explain that 3 points to you. That's where I'm going right now.
Yep.
So you knowing that a customer has a problem, does it improve your
Mhm.
position against others in the opportunity?
What was the question again? Sorry.
FCX having an information that PDTL has a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Does it improve your position in the opportunity?
I think to his point as well, to Dandy's point, he said that we're currently doing the work like that as well, right, Dandy? So we're doing similar work to that or doubling in
I
probably this.
understand that. I understand that, Romin.
So
But
would
then in
it
the absence, go ahead, sorry. Go ahead, Romin.
not to cut you. So I think to Dandy's point, he's saying that we're already experts within that same work that the customer is trying to outsource more opportunities, to get work done, right? So I think to his point, the reason why he's not calling to caution is that if you're I'll put it like this, probably it makes more sense to everybody. So he's saying that okay, then he's already dabbling in carpentry. Somebody is trying to, acquire that carpentry work that has never done it before and they want to learn it. A client would probably go with more somebody that has done the work that would give them more, ROI in performance and also revenue versus somebody that is trying to learn it. So I don't think it's a case where the customer would go with somebody that would want to, I'd say gamble with the work, with learning the work versus somebody that already has expertise within that work. So I think he's using that as an advantage versus being cautious by the fact that multiple vendors, because of course multiple vendors will give multiple invoices and quotation. Everybody will put it on in the dish. But I think from a client's standpoint, they would probably want to venture with persons that are more actively in the work, involved in the work, has some form of dwelling in the work versus somebody that's never done it before.
Point taken. So I let Dindo and Christina put across their point, and then probably I'll come back to you on this one. Yes, Dindo, over to you. You raised your hand.
Yeah, I think the thing is, even though we consider ourselves as an expert, right, that we already know how to do customer support, could be technical support, etc., right? But then other vendors on the same industry would also have that same expertise, right? And
Yes.
so that's not going to be our advantage. The thing is that if the solution that we are proposing is fitted to their need, then probably that could be marked as an advantage. However, I think at this point we don't have a clear understanding about the specific need of PLDT. To me, it seems like the company is just simply window shopping, and that's why they're asking companies to submit proposals for accreditation, uh, to be contacted in the future of any need. But again, at this point, I don't think it is really clear um, to what the need of the company is, and so probably for me, the most appropriate tagging would be none, because you wouldn't say it
Okay.
as an advantage. We can't. I can't also consider it as a caution, but I would say none because the clarity of the need is not there yet.
Okay. Fantastic. That's Dindo's view. Christina, you want to add something?
No,
Yeah,
I
I
think
wanted to ask
they
something.
cover everything.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Dindy, how would you look at it now
Sorry.
after what Dindo says?
No, I just wanted to have a follow-up question with Dindo.
Hmm?
So
Hmm?
everybody claims to have, everybody claims that we are the best. We know everything. So if this is not an advantage, what for you then is an advantage?
As I've said, Dandy, if the need is specific and we have identified the solution to be right fit to that need, then
Mhm.
I may tag it as an advantage.
Okay,
Because
I'll give you a
right
scenario.
now, mhm.
I'll give you a scenario. So this one is not proactive sales. We get this information from a customer who's asking for application. So to your point, we do not identify the needs here. So I'll give you a scenario. If you're a sales guy, you go to a suspect, right? Quote unquote. Do you know what exactly is the problem there? Can you tag it as an advantage?
No,
No, because you don't know
I
exactly
wouldn't
what.
tag not
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Right. So let's go. I just wanted to put that across because I think from and we can always say that our opinion is always the right answer, right? So I want to go back to Prabha. So when you say that this is not supposed to be an advantage, this is what is the type of this discussion? I mean,
Okay.
like this
Fantastic, Dandy.
study.
So thanks for that conversation. And the reason we're spending so much time on this is that this is going to apply to all the parameters. So once we have a clarity, it is going to help us going forward. One. So I hope everyone is trying to be party to this conversation right now. Now, to answer your question, Dandy, probably it is too early to call it as an advantage. I'm not saying it is not an advantage. It's just that we are too early into the conversation. We do not have any input about the need. We only have a unilateral information of customers saying that they want to evaluate us. And it is too early for that reason to be called as an advantage. Now, the other, if you go to 3 points, what we are saying, okay, as of now, you cannot very firmly say that this information is going to improve your position against others in the opportunity because we do not know who else is participating, correct? Probably when you have an insight on who else is participating, your claim could be correct that you might be the best suited partner for this and others might not have a skill for it. Okay. Second, it creates differentiation. Again, you will need more insight on what are others doing against you for you to be calling it an advantage. Third, price sensitivity, we have no idea as of now. So I would say it is too early for us to say that it is an advantage. So you might want to treat it with a pinch of salt and hold for some time before you actually call it as your advantage over here. Fair? Do I answer you, or you still have a question? I'm open to kind of understanding your perspective for the more on this.
Repeat that
Right.
for
I
me.
will defer.
Not to cut you that.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, see, I just wanted to hear Pavan's point of view before you answer him so I don't lose you guys. What did
Sure.
you
So
just
Roman, the point I'm trying to make is we do not have sufficient information at this stage to call this information as our advantage. Okay. Nor are we saying that it is a caution for you. We are too early into the opportunity to call anything as our advantage or caution at this point. We have not even had a conversation with a customer yet.
Gotcha. All right, Dandy,
Right.
sorry about that.
So
Yeah, that's
you're calling, once you have a couple of conversation with a customer, probably you will be far better placed to call it as an advantage or caution or an information, whatever it might be. So the point I'm trying to make is that it's too early. And let's not be in a rush to classify information as an advantage or caution. Okay. Yes, Randy, you were trying to make a point, please.
No. I'll defer my questions.
Sure. Please go ahead.
When I will defer the question when I face the actual client, and then I'll give feedback to you whether it's an advantage or not.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
No, I said I have some couple of things that I wanted to ask and further clarify, but I wanted to defer that, and then I'll get my answers, I think, when I talk to the client.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Thanks, Randy, and thanks, Dindo, as well for that engaging conversation there. But then the objective is let's not be in a rush to qualify an information as advantage or caution. Okay. Let's be a little more conscious of what we're going to be doing with this information, and we can hold for a while. So you can park it as advantage for the time being if that's how you look at it. But as I said, it is dynamic. So you be open to remove it as well as you realize that it is no more an advantage for you. No harm in writing advantage right now, Andy, but be open to remove it when you realize that who is your competition and if you still have this advantage for yourself. Okay. Second thing, Randy, if I could request you to bring that sheet back again. Randy, you there? Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Let me go back to the sheet.
No problem. Okay, over here, the urgency question, what you see on question number 4. It's okay to have it here. It's okay to have in our last section, which is good to have or must have. The objective being there are going to be a lot of questions which will overlay. So let's not worry too much about which bucket are we parking the question in. The objective is to uncover information. The objective is not to put it in the right category. I'll repeat, there will be a lot of overlay questions. So it is okay, you might choose to put it in any of the categories of the questions. Okay. The key objective is to uncover information from the customer to qualify better. Let's remain focused on that. Fair? So let's not debate too much that is this a question which will come over here or will it go in good to have or must have? Not material. We should know this information and that is more important. What is the urgency level of the customer? Okay. Let's go to the next group, which was Idea Factory. Antonio and Jackie. Over to you guys. Hey, thanks, Randy.
Welcome.
All right, guys, give me a second here to share.
Take your time. Yeah.
Hey, Tony, good to see you, brother. Sam here.
Okay, let me know if you guys can see my screen.
We can, Tony.
All right.
Hey, I said good to see you, Tony. Yeah. Hey, I'm good.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed you. How are you?
No worries, no worries. I'm doing absolutely fine. I was hosting a client from here to Morocco. I was flying down, but There were some issues, so sorry about it. I'm a little late. Let's catch up afterwards,
No
okay?
worries.
It's been
For
long.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
guys.
Thanks.
So I'll give you guys a little bit of background. I'm sure most of you guys remember this particular client. So this is a current client that we have an LOB with already. This current client, what they do is they do small business loans. So they provide funding for small businesses to help them grow their business. Right now, the current LOB that we have is on our soundboard side. So we're doing lead generation for them. We are calling small businesses to see if they're in need of funding to help grow their business. So the current setup right now is that our soundboard qualifies the leads and then transfers the leads over to what they call their verifiers. Internally right now, they currently have 10 verifiers who basically collect the prospect's information or the CX information, right? They are helping them fill out an application while they have them on their phone, or they will email them an application to fill out, which they would have to then return. And then the other piece of information they're going to be asking for is their last 3 months of business bank statements to help prove that they're able to pay back the loan, right? So that is the current setup right now. As you can see, I qualified this as an opportunity, that the opportunity exists. As far as advantages, I put advantage pre-existing client. Where we have to be cautious about is this is their first time outsourcing their verifiers, right? This particular LOB. So in questions here, which Jackie helped me out with, the first one, what is your current setup, right? Which we now understand it, or I have a better understanding of that now. What are the problems associated with your current setup? So I did have a brief conversation with this particular client right before I left on vacation. Our last conversation, as you can see up there, was on the 31st of December. The issue that they are really having is that some of their verifiers or some of their internal agents are not showing up to work. So and they also have a high percentage of attrition, meaning their turnover rate is pretty high, right? So this is where we feel we can help them out. What are the expected outcomes or KPIs? This is something else. Something else that we spoke on the 31st about. He wasn't quite sure about what our KPIs would be for their internal team. Their KPIs is one package per day, meaning one application filled out by the client and their business bank statements, right? But that is for their internal team who they are paying higher wages for. So he said he would talk to his internal team and come back to me. We actually have a meeting this week to move a little further along with this process. But this is what I have so far, guys. So feel free to give me some of your comments on this.
No, this is good. What do others think about this before I jump into it? What do you guys think? That questions are all good? Anyone wants to ask anything from Antonio and Jackie?
Tony, can you make it a little bit bigger, please?
Yes, I sure can.
I'm old. I can see. Thank you.
Is that better?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Antonio, those are great 3 questions, and I think you've classified your caution pretty well because it's the first time for the LOB. So that's again fantastic over there. I think I have no queries on this. I mean, this looks aligned. And we're just trying to push all of you to think a lot more than what is there on the sheet. So there is no right and wrong answer. Keep trying whatever you get. The objective of the exercise is that we all can ask valuable questions to our customers and qualify quickly. So that's the whole objective, everyone. Okay, let's move to Christina. Christina, over to you. Hey, thanks, Antonio and Jackie, for that.
You bet.
Give me 1 second. Where is my sheet?
At the bottom of it, you will see a green color up mark arrow. Yeah.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes, it is there. But I
And
will also
so
have the same request to increase the size.
increase?
The size of the, yeah, I think
Can you see?
you'll have to scroll it down.
Okay. So
Okay.
this account, okay, so the questions, okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
So just to give you a little bit of background, this is a home improvement account. The name is Home Fix. What they do is what we would have to do is call the customers to set an appointment for their designers to go to their houses and give them a quote. So right now, the issue, okay, so these are the questions that I put. What problem must be solved for this project to be considered a success? Are you currently working with another vendor? How will you measure success? And how soon do you need this issue to be resolved, or what is your timeline to address it? Those are the questions that I did. Now, I already talked to them. I know they do have another vendor. The vendor they have is located in Philippines, and the issues they have is anytime there's a storm or any like storm. I can't remember the name right now. They lose power, they have a lot of outages, so and that vendor doesn't have another location to back up. So that's why they're looking for another vendor that can have maybe different locations in case of that happening. But that I know because of a conversation I had with them. Let's say this is the first time, and those are the questions that I put there. I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. Anyone has any questions, Christina? Christina, I'll again request that probably advantages and caution you might want to hold for a while and then define them later in the opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
The same thing what we discussed a while back. Probably a little early, and then you can change them as you progress.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move to, thanks, Christina. Let's move to Jeda. Jeda, over to you.
Let
Some
me
I'll bring
share
you
my
to speed after
screen.
this. Yes, Jeda, please.
Okay, so
Jeda, you said something. We could not hear you. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen now.
Okay.
Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Oh, wow, you're far ahead of everyone. You have filled everything already. Jede, you're not supposed to fill everything right now.
Still not showing the screen here.
Sorry.
All good.
Is anyone able to hear her clearly? I am
No, she's
struggling.
cutting.
Yeah, it's breaking off.
Can't hear me? Hold on.
Jita, your voice is breaking.
Fine. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yes, sounds
Okay.
good.
So this is with my campaign, my current campaign right now. So, my current campaign has three sites, and one of the sites had a problem, and the opportunity there is thinking is that the opportunity, the attritions and the the attritions. So they've decided to just fill in with, one geo instead of multiple sites. One is really for bilingual um bilingual clients, but the other one is which on the we have two from the same location, but the client is just deciding on just one geo on that same location. So this represents a multiple location delivery setup where performance was uneven across locations. To reduce delivery risk, the client chose to temporarily centralize operations into a single site. Mm,
Jita, your voice is cracking. Is it okay if we come back to you in a while?
Still not good?
It's still cracking. I think we're losing a lot of words in between, so it's difficult to gather.
How about this? Same?
You will have to speak for a while for me to get something.
Oh. Hello?
Yeah.
Still not good? Or okay
No,
now?
This is better.
Jeddah, yeah, your voice, Jeddah, is okay, but earlier you're cutting in and out.
How about
No, it's still
It's still breaking.
insane. Yeah. Jita, let's do it this way. Let's come back to you after some time when we finish the second part, and then probably you can run us together on the whole thing. Is that okay? Probably the
okay?
network is patchy and it might be okay by then.
All right.
Okay, because we are not able to hear you. So I'll come back to you once we're done with the next part so that we can run it down together. No, I think it's constantly.
Not sure if she can hear you.
Yeah.
Jada, can you hear us?
Yes. I can hear you
Yeah.
now. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So what Pawan is saying that we will get back to you in some time, but your voice is clear. Pawan, would you like to continue?
Yeah.
It's cracking off in a moment, Sam. I think it's okay. I'll start with her as we are done with the next section.
Okay, no problem, Jada. We can try later. All right, no problem. So far, so good. Go ahead, Pawan, please.
Okay. Sam, do you want to be coming up to speed right now?
We can do that, of course.
Okay. So what we are doing is we have requested everyone to select an opportunity which is not closed yet.
Mm-hmm.
And all the things what you're seeing at the bottom of this slide right now, which is the parameters which you're seeing right now, we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
work on each of them. And these are the qualifying parameters which we will use for every opportunity.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we have just covered one, which is solution fitment, and we have gone very deep into it so that everyone get a sense of what is happening. Now we are moving towards the second one, which is decision-making process and criteria. Okay, so you can, wherever you have a question, please do raise your hand and I'll keep bringing you up into the conversation. But you can choose one opportunity of your own if you have one, or else you can tag with someone to work on their opportunity.
I'll tag along either with Dindo or Christian or any of my team members, and I'll do that because
So
as
you
we are
let us
speaking,
know.
I have some parallel work going on. So yeah, I'll do that and I'll get back to you.
Sure. Okay. So you let us know whom to tag with, and we will put you in that group.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
no problem.
Yeah.
You can tag me with anyone
Yeah.
if you want. Yeah.
Sure. So over to you, everyone. I want you to read this before we move forward. Okay, again, question for everyone. One, what is going to be the outcome of this opportunity? Second, is Daniel missing something very important in this qualification process? Question number one, what would be the outcome of this opportunity? Second, is there something Daniel is missing in the entire qualification over here?
I think it's a little bit of the same as the case we saw before. Like, we don't know if they're ready to completely outsource the whole thing or just the part, no? That would be one of the things.
Okay, what about others? What do you think?
Daniel did not also consider the decision-making process in this case. So he only met the customer support manager.
Okay, fair point. Okay, what about others? Anything from anyone else?
I think Daniel gave like a complete, he kind of jumped the gun. I think, of course, some of his models that he shared in regards to probably fixed monthly cost, predictable fixed monthly cost, and you know, a few other things he could have waited until he had more discussions on that versus jumping and sharing that information that he believes would be, a right fit for the customer.
Okay. Anyone else has any other input? Okay, here you go. What happens next? Okay, so some of the key thing what Daniel missed out was, although I might have a lot of strengths as an organization, but if my strengths are not aligned to the customer's decision-making criteria, go back or look at the kind of features what Daniel brought about. Fixed monthly cost, predictability, track record, vendor risk and compliance posture, and SLA guarantees. And these are strong points in most of the transactions if you look at. Most of the customers look for this. But in this scenario, it was not aligned to the customer because they were more about risk mitigation. They were about minimal disruption to the internal team. Right? One of the parameters did add up. Cost predictability is what Daniel spoke about, and that is one of the common parameters, but the others were lagging. So we need to ensure that we have a clear understanding of what is the customer's decision-making criteria for that given opportunity. And then comes the part of decision-making process. If you're just touching upon with one person on an opportunity, is generally a red flag. I think this was covered earlier. What do you think? Typically in a B2B complex selling scenario, how many stakeholders are involved in a decision making? In a typical B2B complex selling scenario, how many stakeholders are involved in a decision making? Just guess a number, whatever comes to your mind. How many people should typically be involved?
But for
Is it 5? Is it
I think
5?
it was 6.
Okay, 5.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
6.
Yeah, so the global average is about 5 to 6 people. It can be as low as 3 or 4 or 2 as well sometimes. And it could be as high as 25, 50, depending on how the complex opportunity is. Okay. So if you're talking only to one person, generally it is going to lead you to trouble at the later point of the opportunity. So it's okay, or rather it's recommended to have more and more people coming onto the conversation. And that is a mistake Daniel was making over here. So objective remains process and criteria we need to identify pretty early into the conversation. A best solution is not necessarily a winning guarantee. It has to align with the customer's expectation from a criteria perspective. So let's quickly go down to again looking at the same thing. What are the questions we asked today to uncover these 2 points? How do we try to understand a customer's decision-making process and criteria today?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that for me, please?
Okay. How do we try to uncover customers' decision-making process and criteria as of today? What are the questions we ask? Just over to you.
No, I think we could just simply ask it straightforward, like what's their usual decision process and any particular criteria that they
Mm.
have on a certain part of the decision process.
Okay, fair. Anyone else have anything?
Pawan,
Mm.
would you like me to go for it?
Yeah, please go ahead, Sam.
As per me, what I generally follow, what Dindo has also mentioned, but maybe in a
Mm.
very subtle way, that uh, so what's the next step when it comes
Mm.
to shaking hands together? Would that
Mm.
be a follow-up meeting? How many stakeholders would be involved on that? Do you have an RFP in our industry that is pretty big? Is it a closed RFP or is it an open RFP, meaning they are looking for how many vendors to submit a tender or RFP? Sometimes their process is RFI, RFP, and then the reward. If the RFP is on the card, what is their award time, right? When they are planning to close award the RFP or the process to their potential partner. At the same time, when it comes to the qualifying or the decision making,
Mm.
one question I always ask that, I'm sure everybody has a budget, but what is the criteria of your decision making? Is that something which is a better ROI or solving your current existing problems or a BCP? So what is exactly you are looking for? Based on that, we can take the next step. So sometimes I hear that, okay, our CTO is not comfortable to migrate from one partner to other partner, or one country to other country. So our step should be, let's talk to the IT team first. Between your IT team and our IT team, there should be a first meeting. Sometimes they say, hey, you know what? We believe you're paying a lot. So then the
Mm.
financial discussion can happen at the beginning. So those are the, I think the very crucial questions to be asked in the decision making phase. I may be wrong, but this is what I do because that's what I think makes more sense from both the parties' end. Because let's not waste each other time, right?
Yes. And that's exactly what qualification is. So by definition, there's nothing right and wrong about it. All the questions all of you proposed are pretty much in line with what we will need to understand. Anyone wants to add up any more questions which you asked today?
I think maybe if there's like any option, no, not option, or like any, how do you say, scenario where they can back up, or if it's a decision make that they want to move forward with the requirement. No, like what's the next step, and if it's something assured. I don't know if if I can make
No,
myself.
I get your point. You're saying, is there any other alternative is they can use over here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's, if at any point is there a reason why they decide just not to go,
Okay, fantastic.
or
If they
if
decide
it's
not to take a decision at any given point of time during the opportunity,
exactly,
that's
yeah.
what. Okay. Fantastic question. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, fair. Anyone else? Okay, let's look at some of the sample questions in that case, and then we will move down to our activity. I'll let you read it, and then I'll have a few pointers for all of you on this. Christina, what you said is in bullet number 5.
Exactly. That's exactly. I didn't know how to say it, but yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
And what Dindo said is on bullet number 1. Sam, partial of what you said is in bullet number 2 and 3. Right?
Right. Got it.
And some of what you said is in last bullet over there. Now, do you think any of these questions are difficult to ask? Does anyone think any of these questions are impractical or difficult to ask?
I don't think so because uh, this is pretty much straightforward and you get a lot of respect when you ask this kind of valid questions because then you are actually portraying yourself as a no nonsense guy rather than beating around the bush, right? And sometimes at my initial stage of my career, I have seen people, and including myself, we do meetings after meetings, but we don't know when it's going to be get closed, right? And what's the next step? Because we're expecting the client is going to say as the next step. But that's in most of the cases in B2B sales, that's not the case because sometimes you need to ask those questions, right? And most of the times
Correct.
I would say correct myself, yes.
Yes. So,
And is there any order you recommend? Because I don't follow any order, right?
no,
And it's
these are
basically
sample
more
questions, Sam. These are not exhaustive, so there
exactly.
is order to it. Now,
Yes.
since you asked that, and this is again for everyone over here, all that what we're going to be doing across the seven parameters over here, there is no order of asking these questions. It is a dialogue between two people, and there can be first question could be about fitment, second could be about budget, third could be about time, fourth could be about urgency, and then again you can come back to solution fitment question. Okay. So it's not that I have to ask five fitment question, I have to ask another five budget question, then five time questions. No, there's a
Also,
dialogue.
what I believe
Yeah, please go ahead, Sam.
Sorry, Pawan. Also, what I believe that if we can keep it as a more conversational mode
Yeah,
rather than a Q&A, I think that will help us more rather than directly ask questions and just asking questions one after other, right? During our conversation, these questions can come anytime, and let's mix and match with normal conversation and then bring up these questions.
correct.
Otherwise, it will be a monologue rather than, a free flow conversation, right?
Absolutely. So we do not want to interrogate the customer largely. And I think we'll cover
Exactly.
that at
That's
the
been
end
the
of
point.
it, that what are the best practices while we do this entire part of it. Objective is not an interrogation. Objective is a dialogue. And you don't have to cover everything in one meeting as well. Okay. So please remember that. Now, how many of us asked this question, what Christina said earlier, that have you decided to decide? Or is there a scenario in which you will not take the decision whatsoever? I think it's one of the important, great questions to ask, when opportunities are not moving or a little early into the opportunity, to check how serious is the customer about this. Okay. And then this is a question which you can ask when you're facing with something new. How have you made decisions in past? What process did you follow? This again a strong question which forces customer to line up the entire process to you at one go. Okay, so you'll have to practice these questions, and there can be a lot more questions ideally to ask about decision making criteria and decision making process. So if any other questions come to your mind beyond this, this is just a sample list. Does anyone ask anything else beyond what we have on the screen? Okay, fair. Let's move to the exercise again. You're going to keep the same opportunity. You're going to use the same worksheet. But this time you're going to remain focused on decision-making process and criteria. Okay. So go back to your worksheets. You have to remain focused on three questions for decision-making process and criteria. Fair enough? Is everyone clear? Sam, you would have the worksheet in your mailbox if you want to look at it. From
Sure.
Tina. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. And be prepared to present to the group. We'll take about 10 minutes because these are two different things in the same breath. So you might want to take some time to phrase your questions better. So I'm putting a timer for about 10 minutes for the time being. Okay. Over to you guys. You can, okay, I will open up the breakout room probably that would help. I've opened all the breakout rooms so you guys can join in and start having the conversation. Sam, let me know if you want to join any of the groups. I will kind of.
Yeah, you can put me in any of the group, but majorly I'll catch it up later.
I'll tell you who are the people. Dindo, June, and Romain are in one group.
Mm-hmm.
We have Dandy and Hemant in one group.
Mm-hmm.
We have Antonio and Jackie in one group, and
Put me
Christina
on
and Jada are working on
put me
individual
on
cases.
okay.
Antonio,
Put me on Antonio and
Jackie,
who was there? Jackie.
Jackie. Okay, done.
Okay.
So, there you go. You would have something
Yeah,
on your
thanks.
screen now.
Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah. Jada, you're there? Jada? Am I there?
Yes, Pawan, I'm there.
Okay. I think we will stop with this right now. 11:30 हो जाएगा इसमें.
हाँ,
ठीक है?
आज ब्रेक ही नहीं हुआ ना ठीक से.
Sorry? No,
ये लोगों
after this
का
we can give a
मतलब आज
break. So what we'll do is we'll end the session
हाँ
after this rather than giving a break.
ठीक है. Okay.
Correct? 7:30 to 11:30 था ना हमारा.
हाँ.
So 11:10 is already the time. We will kind of end with this. We will leave the 10-15 minutes in the end over.
Okay, no problem. So, Pawan, what is your take? Are they actually able to grasp anything?
No, it is too early for them for the CoQ.
I think overall, should we highlight it?
You should. You should. As an
Okay.
account perspective, you
I'll
should
pro-
pass it to the management. That one, they don't have an
as
opportunity to
a
understand
management,
it.
I am thinking of talking to Sam's boss, Ritesh.
Yeah, I know. You should highlight it. That scorecard display will come out very bad actually with my experience. So
What will
the
happen? Sorry, I couldn't understand.
scorecard will not come out great in this conversation eventually.
हाँ, because ultimately scorecard के लिए experience ही नहीं है.
Correct.
And without Sam, the team becomes absolutely मतलब headless chicken हो गया था उनका.
Yeah, because they're not able to get a sense of what is happening here, right? So I think Dendi and others have got that advantage, and Caution also not so aligned as of now.
Yeah, correct.
Correct. So that will take time because I'm not sure how many sales cycle have they seen. They will need to see a lot of new sales cycle for them to understand qualification.
Okay.
Antonio and Dindo to large
Okay.
extent.
Anthony closed recently some deals also.
Yeah, so Antonio and Dindo to large extent get it.
Romain is going to be debate specialist probably.
I mean, that is okay. Debate is fine, but then the point is, are you able to get the concept?
Yeah, correct.
Correct. You can
So while
debate. That's
doing
fine.
SOM again, we may not need to be more conscious while doing SOM. So what I'll do is that the extra day which we have in hand, I will absorb that in SOM for revision of SSP's concepts again, and then that is how I'll take it.
Yeah, so this might extend by half a day or so, given the way we are running it right now.
If you need full time, I'm absolutely okay. But otherwise, if you think that I should consume something in SOM, I will probably take more time in explaining concept again month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see how does this end up, and then we can decide कि आधा दिन extra लगेगा या नहीं.
हाँ कोई दिक्कत नहीं है जैसा सही लगे.
हाँ, because ये जो हमारा ये वाला पीस है ना तुम्हारा sorry, I was doing something on my screen. So people and competition will take a little more time.
Okay.
Because we get into the influencer and we get into 5 category of competition there. So that takes a little longer.
फिफ्थ कौन सा ऐड किया है? 4 तो मैंने कल ही सोम में भी इन्वॉल्व किए थे. 5वां कौन सा ऐड हुआ है?
कौन सा?
बजट कंपटीशन में बजट रिसोर्सेस एक होगा, डायरेक्ट दूसरा होगा, इनडायरेक्ट तीसरा होगा, नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग चौथा होगा. 5वां कौन सा है?
So direct, indirect, budget, internal resources, and not doing anything. Those are 5.
और इंटरनल रिसोर्सेज सेपरेट कर दिया क्या इनडायरेक्ट से? ओके
हाँ, that has got separated.
ओके ओके गॉट इट। बस मैंने कल ही सूम में वो पढ़ाया था इसलिए एकदम मुंह जबान पे था।
नहीं ठीक है। So people में भी
ठीक है
again
तो
what you get into that quadrant.
विच क्वाड्रेंट?
People में है ना हमारा वो वेटो यूजर गेटकीपर कोच वाला।
हाँ ओके ओके गॉट इट। डिसीजन इन्फ्लुएंसेस ओके।
Correct. तो उस पर थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा।
You take your time. Again, I have explained the decision influences first time, but you should definitely explain it again. Your method is very different than mine, and it will help.
Hi, Jada.
Evan, can you add me on Christina's break room? We decided to
Work together.
join so we can work together.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have moved you, no problem. Yeah, man. I get what you're saying. But I think this piece is little too early for them.
I agree. Now I feel it more.
नहीं ठीक है, ये होता है typically. Even in Liquidtech, this was a little early for them.
Okay.
So OQ के लिए you need a team which has actually done sales for the same company for some time.
Yeah, right.
They should have at least done 4 or 5 opportunities each for them to make sense of this entire conversation.
Understood. Now, also when so we will connect again on this before I connect to Ritesh, but I want to ask him for two. The alternatives which I have in mind is that we should have the real sales guys also joining the cohort, and in order to do that, if I have to take an extra SSP for them, we should propose that take money and do extra SSP for the real sales people today they have, and add them to the same cohort for further conversations or other modules. So the size of
that will be disastrous. That will be
batch.
disastrous in my view. See, if you bring the
Okay.
actual sales guys on this group, then these guys will not talk anything. They will talk everything.
That's also possible. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So that's going to lead you to trouble.
Okay. Okay.
So you need to be conscious if you're going that path, so that it does not kind of create a challenge for you as much.
No, I was just trying to improve the quality of the cohort, but I take your point that it may dilute their learning ability also.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, let us just connect again tomorrow sometime. I'll call you. Because this problem needs to be addressed, because more and more we are trying to create further other modules. Like proposal writing module is going to be a new module altogether.
Correct.
We want to create it for some impact. I don't want to do it half-hearted just because the cohort is not great.
No, I understand.
And ultimately, it happens that your energy will go low if the cohort is not great. My energy will also go low. It's obvious.
So what I've seen is OQ is important, but if teams have not done enough business, then it is falling flat everywhere.
Okay.
So this is my observation in Liquidtech. It is there in UPSFM. This is the third one.
Okay.
Okay. Now Talentica, this went very well, and we did it very shortly.
I know. The qualification was in the shortest
Yeah. That
time we
was
have
done in
given.
about few hours. Okay. But they still have got the scorecard right.
Okay.
So because they
In
have
fact, I have to talk to you about a IOP scorecard also, because my IOP scorecard also went haywire yesterday.
Acha. Okay.
People have been winning deals which were having 40 as a score and losing deals which had 70 as a score.
70 out of 70 as a score.
But why did it go till 7? It should be ideally 5.
No, IOP has more option, no?
No, we can restrict it to 5.
We can restrict it to 5, but the price and everything was in the part of the process. But I believe they misunderstood the price conversation. So the ideal case is that if you have strength of a price, then it should be the criteria for you to choose. What is
Correct.
happening here is that the procurement manager says everything is okay. Now give me this price and the deal is yours. And then these people think that we are winning because of the better price. Then it is
Let's
a
talk
wrong
about it.
connotation of their understanding of a price.
Correct.
It's more about a DI's relationship to you. But somehow that was not established. I found out some mistakes I have done, but not everything. So
No,
again,
that's fine.
IOP, I will need some help.
Amay, give me 1 minute. I think Hemant and Dandy are back. Hemant, Dandy, you guys
Okay.
you're done or you need something?
Yeah. We are done with our questions, so we
Okay,
came back
done
to
with
the
the
main
question.
room.
Okay, fantastic. So I will close all the rooms now.
Is the 10-minute mark over yet?
Oh yes, 10 minutes is far over. I'm giving
Okay.
extra time.
Okay. No problem then. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be finishing up once we're done with this.
I'll just go to the restroom. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, Dandy. No problem. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
This is the first time we're in time. We were able to come to a conclusion before we got back here.
Okay. So I think this time, okay, before we start with asking everyone to share the screen, I know it's a break time for all of us. So we're going to finish this part and we will wrap up for the day. So let's wait for another 5 to 8 minutes and then we can wrap up for the day. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, we don't have to do a break. We can just continue on and just close.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Okay, done. So let's start with Christina and Jeda. Jeda, you can share your screen. Probably your network would be better by now.
Okay.
So we'll start with you.
Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Oh yes, now we can hear you far clearly and we can see your screen for sure.
All right. So for the decision maker questions, I put it
Stop
here.
you for a moment? First, you have gone far ahead of all of us, so you're not supposed to fill everything by now. You'll have to go step by step.
Again, sorry.
Okay, you have filled everything already. You're not supposed to fill all of this.
Oh, no, actually I just changed this. It's just this.
Okay.
Because this is my original one. I just copied and then changed the decision making process and decision making criteria. So here are the questions that I have.
Okay.
I just separated it. Okay. So like what I've mentioned a while ago, my case is that we have 3 sites in the Philippines, and two of them are from Philippines, and then one is from a bilingual country. So due to a recent problem, our client is deciding to just give the full service in just one site in the Philippines. So those were the questions that I had a while ago. And for the decision making process, I have prepared three questions. The
Okay.
first one is, what specific risk indicators or thresholds prompted leadership to make the centralization decision? I'm asking this to understand what signals or triggered the decision. It's not just about the decision itself, but of course what measurable or observable factors like attrition rates or missed deadlines caused leadership to act. So this
Okay.
shows how proactive or reactive the process was.
Okay.
Second is, who was involved in the decision-making process and how were the inputs from different locations considered? So it could help us clarify the collaboration between the decision or behind the decision. Because I wanted to see if insights from all locations were included, how quickly information flowed, and how the process accounted for different perspectives cross-site. Third one is, how did the leadership balance short-term containment versus long-term expansion in this decision? I'm trying to understand the prioritization logic. So centralization might protect operations in the short term, but it could impact growth plans. So by using this question, it explores how leadership weighed immediate risk against strategic goals.
Okay. Have they ever made such centralization decision earlier ever?
Made the centralization earlier. Actually, it's not me that's the direct contact, because I'm only an operations manager. So based on what I'm experiencing as the operations manager, though I have just a little input or a little insight on what's really happening between the client decisions and whatnot. But when I made these questionnaires, I really just think that, what if it's me already? That's been,
Pointing.
so I don't have that much of an idea, to be honest with you, Pavan. Everything is new for me, so I'm really trying to explore the best that I could.
Fantastic. That gives me a perspective. No problem there. Let's move to the other three questions. What you have, Jada, there?
For the decision-making criteria questions, the first one is, which operational risks were weighted most heavily? Attrition, communication gaps, or other factors, since these are the, top three. This question aims to see which risks were most critical in driving the decision.
Fair.
Second is, how did the client expectations around stability and predictability influence the choice of centralization? So I'm exploring the role of the client's priorities. The decision isn't made in isolation. It's about delivering what the client value most, like consistency, reliability, especially under risk.
Okay.
Pawan, sorry to interrupt you. I'm just dropping off. I'm getting the board call. Okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the last one is, were there quantitative or qualitative metrics used to decide that centralization was safer than maintaining multi-site delivery? I'm thinking of asking this to understand whether the decision was a data-driven or more judgment-based. I think that's important.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Did anyone kind of struggle with these questions around decision-making process or decision-making criteria? Did any of you find it difficult to phrase questions?
Not really. I think we didn't do the decision-making criteria question. I'm gonna be very honest. I'm worried if we're behind. But we did the decision-making process. But it wasn't, well, we kind of bounced from the discussion before, tying in the fitment of your solution, and then we had a discussion based on that. And then we decided to really tie it in. So I think this was one of the easiest one for us to really come to a quick conclusion on before meeting did.
Fair enough. I think we're just running out of time. So what we'll do is we will look at the rest of them in the coming conversation. It's 11:30, which I have committed all of you guys for. And I'm not sure how I guys place. So we'll take a pause here. The remaining 5 parameters we're going to cover up on Friday. And after that, we're going to be having a very important group activity where all of you are going to contribute equally. Okay, so my request would be that please be available for that session, because that last part is what is going to give you an entire insight of what are you working for eventually. Okay, and keep these sheets saved with yourself, because we're going to be continuing working on this, and we're going to leverage everyone's sheet by the end of the conversation. Everyone's input would be equally contributing to the last activity what we will do. Okay, fair.
Got it.
Thanks everyone. Pleasure meeting all of you again. All of you have a good week ahead, and good evening, good night, good afternoon, basis on the time zones you are in. Okay, take care.
Thank
We'll
you,
meet up on
Paul.
Friday again. And if you have any
Right.
questions before
Good
that,
night,
please
everyone.
feel free to reach out.
Good morning, everyone.
Sure.
It's morning here.
Good
Hey,
afternoon, I would
everyone. Yeah,
say.
yeah. Good day, everyone.
Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
take
Thank you,
care, guys.
Brian.
Good
Bye.
Bye bye.
afternoon,
Thank
everybody.
you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. Yes, Amay.